It's prime time on the Bayou, Baton Rouge, Louisiana, home of the Tigers.
Boom, 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 boom.
Driscoll picked off by Ricky Jefferson of LSU from the right hash. Delahousse curving, got it. Last week, LSU barely escaped the swamp. Now Les Miles and the Tigers are home to continue their search for a special season. Special is exactly what Kentucky is looking for. Big Blue is resurgent under Mark Stoops, and tonight a signature win is within reach for the Wildcats. You are looking live at Death Valley in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. The Kentucky Wildcats, one of the surprise teams in the SEC, take dead aim at an Eastern Division title. But LSU coach Les Miles tells one and all, this is where dreams come to die. Good evening, everybody, and welcome with Jesse Palmer and Maria Taylor. I'm Brent Musburger. Let's begin by looking at the SEC standings, and what a day. Alabama bounces back 59-0 over Texas A&M. Georgia closes out Arkansas 45-32, and now the amazing Kentucky Wildcats take dead aim at those dogs. While LSU, they're looking up, but there's a lot ahead of them. Ole Miss, then Alabama. So good evening. Thanks for dropping by, everybody. Jesse, I can't help but think when we look at the standings, what a turnaround for Kentucky.
Forget everything you thought you knew about the Kentucky Wildcats, because they're a good team. As an opponent, you don't just circle them on the schedule and draw a W beside it. They've got playmakers on offense, a quarterback that I think is going to play in the NFL one day, playmakers on defense. Head coach Mark Stoops has done a phenomenal job recruiting, developing, and coaching this football team. They're a triple overtime loss at Florida away from being a perfect 6-0. And tonight is a huge game for them to stay in control of their own destiny in the SEC East.
And last week we saw the emergence of Leonard Fornette over in the swamp.
This is a superstar running back in the making, and you're absolutely right. Growing up before our eyes. Not at all the same running back we saw week 1 against Wisconsin. Had his breakout game against the Florida Gators with 140 rushing yards, 2 touchdowns. He's just running differently now. More conviction, more confidence. The game slowed down. We knew he could run guys over. He's now starting to make guys miss. You could see why he was the #1 overall player coming out of high school, and he's going to be big tonight. They got to give him the rock against the Kentucky defense that struggled stopping the run.
And Maria is down below with Coach Les Miles at LSU. Let's go to Maria.
Thanks, Brent. Coach, your Tigers have won 5 of the last 6 meetings against Kentucky. How do you ensure that your team doesn't underestimate the Wildcats tonight?
Yeah, we watch film. They're a quality football team. They got a real good quarterback, receiving core, defense that'll run to the ball, well prepared for special teams. We recognize this is a quality team.
But your quarterback, Anthony Jennings, he's starting in his 3rd SEC game. What does he need to do to effectively manage this offense?
Just call the things we call. He just has to run it and take care of the ball. He does those things. He's improving. You know, he'll give us just what we need for victory.
All right, it's Saturday night in Death Valley. How does it feel, Coach?
It's the best. There's no other place in America.
Thanks, Maria. Anthony Jennings will handle the ball to begin the game as the LSU quarterback. Kentucky winning the toss here tonight, and they have deferred. So LSU will receive it. And right off the top, we're expecting to see Leonard Fornette back in the end zone, getting ready to return the opening kickoff. You know, some people, Jesse, talk about why do you use your ace running back on kickoff returns? But it turns out, in talking to the coaches, they told us Fornette volunteered. He said before he was recruited and committed to LSU, he said to the coaches, I'd like to return kickoff. Said, you know, you're going to say yes when you recruit.
No doubt about it. Hey, Todd Gurley was doing it at Georgia, right? He's had some success, and he's the guy that was up for the Heisman Trophy. So your best players are on the field, and that's always a good sign for a team when they've got starters on their special teams units.
Austin McGinnis handles the kicking for Kentucky. So folks, settle back up Lexington, Louisville way, all throughout Kentucky. There's the young man running the crowd. Took some heat for giving us the Heisman pose on his first touchdown against Sam Houston State. Now they're using it as part of the promotion for the LSU Tigers. Louisiana Saturday night. Fornette's the lead blocker this time for McGee. McGee peels away, and McGee has got daylight. Penalty. Another flag comes flying. McGee was fouled on the return, but there is a second flag. So how'd that little trickeration work out?
You're right, Brent. It kind of looked like Kentucky got out of formation as if they were going to do an onside kick to see if LSU would shift. They didn't. They ended up just kicking the ball deep, but because of that, the coverage unit didn't have a chance to get deep down the field. LSU set up a great return on top of that. Looks like they're going to get a face mask.
Personal foul. Wrapping the face mask. 24, Kentucky. 15 yards added on and in the run. First down.
Both flags on the face mask penalty.
So look at this. You see Kentucky lines up as if they're going to onside kick it, but LSU stayed home in their safe return, but he kicks it way down the field. There's not enough gray jerseys down to cover on Terrence McGee. And on top of that, you tack on the penalties, and here's the face mask against Kentucky on Blake McLean, starting linebacker, and just like that, LSU is going to start this game on Kentucky's 29-yard line.
Without a fullback, a couple of tight ends on first down. They're at the 29-yard line. Fornette with the first carry, and he is slammed at the 30 by Josh Forrest, the leading tackler, converted receiver for Kentucky. So there you see his stats, but he was a different player in the fourth quarter.
I think you heard Les Miles tell Maria Taylor at the beginning of the game, he doesn't need to be Superman tonight. He has to manage the game, operate within the system in the offense, and they're going to be fine. They're going to have an opportunity to win this game.
2nd and 10. Quinn is now the slot receiver on the left. Play action to Fornette. Looking downfield. Going to swing to Fornette. As he slipped out, he was covered. There's a penalty flag back at the 40-yard line where the quarterback was down.
Personal foul, roughing the passer. Number 94, Kentucky. 15-yard penalty. Half the distance to the goal.
Zadarius Smith with a critical mistake here on the opening drive.
Yeah, you're right. Mark Stoops doesn't know what's going on right now. His team is just giving away yardage. Now, go back and look at this again. I think Jennings had a wide open Traven Durrell on the post. You see deep down the field, he may have had a touchdown pass. Instead, he throws it away. But again, another personal foul on Kentucky gives LSU a fresh set of downs here early, knocking on the door.
Fullback comes in to lead Fornette. From the 16, number 7 cuts back, looks for the crease, and he's to the 9-yard line.
Kentucky is going to want to make LSU earn it on these runs. There's no mystery. It's an LSU coach team by Les Miles. They know they want to tote the rock, and right now you're seeing Kentucky put a lot of bodies close to the line of scrimmage to slow Leonard Fornette down. That time, they had 9 defenders in the box.
Melvin Jones, who played very well in Gainesville last week, is the fullback in front of Fornette. Back to number 7, tries to slip outside, tries to get the corner, and he's pushed out of bounds, just shy of a first down. And again, it's a very active number 45, Josh Forrest from Paducah.
Well, and you see that speed by Forrest. This is a guy that played wide receiver 2 years ago, and he needed it right here. There's a great lead block by the fullback Melvin Jones, 49. That allows Fornette to get outside. If Josh Forrest isn't there to get that edge, I think Leonard Fornette runs that in. Not only did he stop him, Brent, but he stopped him short of the first down marker as well.
Without the fullback, very tight for Jennings. Short yardage, got a first and goal. Jennings kept it himself.
Goal line situation. He's bringing in the big bodies. Travis Dixon, an extra tight end. This is one of the biggest, most physical offensive lines, not just in the SEC, in all of college football.
Fullback is stopped and that is Jones, and they were trying to reward him for the great game he played last week. Tried to get him into the end zone, and he could not carry it over.
You know, LSU has been a phenomenal red zone offense because of their ability to run it. But you see Kentucky here, the big man tries to go over top, but just not giving up push, being physical, playing strong at the point of attack. You know, LSU coming into this game, 77% of their red zone possessions end up touchdowns because of that offensive line and all these big physical backs they have, like Leonard Fornette, who's back dotting the I right now.
Fornette, pay dirt. Colby Delahose, who hit that 50-yarder to beat the Gators, tacks on the extra point. So the freshman phenom growing up, emerging as an LSU star.
In this moment, it doesn't matter if you save money in 15 minutes. It doesn't matter if your neighbor has the same insurance that you do. What matters right now is the quality of your independent insurance agent and the company that stands behind them. Auto Owners Insurance.
Game day brings out the best in all of us. Regions, every day is game day.
November 7, 2010. A day fans will remember forever. With time ticking down, Rick Noble was inches away from glory, but couldn't find daylight. He tried the cutback, the spin move, and going up the middle. There was only one option left. His now famous trick play, the triple fork Noble. And he scored!
Buffalo Wild Wings. Wings, beer, sports.
Now all he needed was a beer.
You're watching Dr. Pepper Road to the Championship.
LSU, 49-yard kickoff return, 30 yards in penalties, and they jump ahead of the Wildcats by a touchdown.
Brent, you go back and look at this touchdown. You got to bring your big boy pads if you're going to stop this rushing attack. Watch Melvin Jones, the fullback, get this block on Trayvon Pascal, which opens the crease for Leonard Fornette. These are two 260-pound bodies in a car accident right at the line of scrimmage. LSU wins, and it's pay dirt for Leonard Fornette.
Trent Domingue puts the ball on the tee for LSU. Braylon Hurd, and boom, Williams back deep. We'll take a knee. Boom Williams is down, and so pressure, Jesse, on Patrick Tolles, who's been impressive here with the first series.
Yeah, he's handled the pressure very well, Brent. Only a sophomore, 5-1 already as a starter. He's put up very good numbers. He's a true dual threat quarterback. He's a guy that can run the ball. He can obviously throw it, which is very rare to find in one of these air raid offenses. that Kentucky run. So he's going to have to stress LSU tonight. Playing on the road in a hostile environment, needs to have a big game.
Braylon Hurd will open as the running back. Motions out. Tolles batted away. 2nd down and 10. Strong defensive play by Hunter.
Really great alertness by LSU's defense. Maybe anticipating quick throws from Kentucky early, get the young quarterback in a rhythm. And Daniil Hunter on this quick drop, he knows he's not going to get there, so he disengages from the left tackle. Darian Miller gets his hands up to knock that down.
One of the best secondaries in the country. And Braylon Hurd in as the running back. That brings up the first 3rd down of the night for the Wildcats.
That's a good sign for LSU's defense. The Wildcat formation for Kentucky has been their best running formation here in recent weeks. And LSU doing a good job early on this series, forcing a 3rd and long now. Here comes the noise.
Watch this young secondary. They're long and they're talented. Note the 2 corners pressing the wideouts. Hard to hear. Tolles ready. Swing pass went up in the air and was caught by Hurd, but he's out of bounds, and the Wildcats are forced to punt on their first series.
And Brad, I think even if that was a more accurate ball, I don't think that Kentucky was going to get that first down. LSU did a great job running out wide to make the stop. It's a good first possession for this LSU defense now, forcing a punt, potentially giving the ball back to quarterback Anthony Jennings in good field position.
Tre'Davious White back deep. Landon Foster is the Kentucky punter. LSU sets the return. White from the 32. Slips a tackle. Out to the 48. So LSU, and there's a little tug of war going on down there. The Wildcats are trying to yank that football away from White when he was on the ground. But again, LSU is going to wind up with excellent field position, as they did after the opening kickoff. So that young Kentucky team has to settle down here quickly.
Living Beyond Breast Cancer is a lifeline for so many people.
It's more than a community. It is a family. There's always a hug. You're friends for life.
When I needed guidance and I needed support, Living Beyond Breast Cancer was there.
Last year, 5 Hour Energy raised over $340,000 for Living Beyond Breast Cancer. Purchase this specially marked bottle now through December 31st.
And a portion of the proceeds will help breast cancer survivors live beyond their diagnosis.
Looks like the Garcia's got a new car.
What'd they get?
I don't know. It's pretty nice. Maybe he got a raise.
Good for him.
Good for her.
The expectation-shattering Buick Enclave.
Now during the Buick Model Year Closeout, pay no interest for 5 years, plus get $2,000 purchase bonus cash on the 2014 Buick Enclave. Hurry in for the best selection.
Hey, look, it's the State Farm guy.
Hans and Franz?
You pumped up our wallets with the discount double checking, so we want to pump you up.
Sorry, what?
Pull us, you flabby loser!
You'll thank us later. Row your boat.
Gently down the loser stream.
Doesn't this hurt?
Not with those puny arms.
It's a start.
Yeah, not bad.
Really?
Pump up your savings with a discount double check. State Farm.
SEC Network Primetime Football is brought to you by your DQ. This month, get your $5 lunch with not one, but 2 crispy chicken wraps.
Weather in October, great for co-ed football. Wonderful. Having a good time here in the Bayou. LSU with the lead. And a reminder again that ESPN Radio's Paul Feinbaum all weekdays shares his compelling opinions on SEC football through a deep knowledge of the conference. But it's going to be those passionate callers. I can just hear Phyllis from Alabama calling right now. She wants to talk to Colin Cowherd about those amazing Alabama Crimson Tide. Neighbors is the fullback, and Fornette is stopped that time, and lineman Melvin Lewis hitting first. I think you saw a big number 90 in there.
Yeah, this is going to be the key for Kentucky's defense, and you wonder their mindset, their confidence, because they have not been a great run defense this year. South Carolina ran for 282 yards against them. The Gators had 237 yards. You wonder if they're built for it, because in practice they see a more finesse air raid offense leading into the season. So for defensive coordinator DJ Elliott, getting these guys riled up and ready to go early, having to match that physicality from LSU up front.
Doral off to his favorite spot, top of your screen. Corner is well off him. They decide to run back to the boundary side, and again it is Fornette. Johnson making the defensive play for the Wildcats.
And again, lots of blue helmets close to the line of scrimmage on these early downs, first and second down. Just look at all these bodies up front. They know what's coming. They're going to run the football, and guys got to get off of blocks. You see Josh Forrest, the linebacker, 45, climbing over top, making a stop now. Third down. This is where Mark Stoops, DJ Elliott, and Kentucky, they can get exotic with some different pressures. And you got to watch for Bud Dupree, number 2, right here at the bottom of the screen. He's their best pass rusher.
McGee is in. That signals pass. Good pass blocker. Picks up his man. Drops it out over the middle to a wide open receiver. And it's that tight end, Travis Dixon. The tight ends under Steve Insiger are in this game. A heavy workout in their practice Thursday. There's an entire tight end package. That for 28 yards. You can see why.
And Brent, they don't throw to tight ends very often, so that's a little bit, tricky. But take a look at number 18, Terrence McGee. Pick up the blitz. That gives Jennings time. And I love how much he took off of that football, knowing he had a wide open Dixon crossing the field. Easy catch. First down.
Here's McGee. 15. Out of bounds, close to the 10-yard line. Baseball player, really one of those veterans who does a lot of small things. Good pass blocker, as we pointed out. Stays in the game now as the running back behind Jennings. And number 18 can do a lot of things. Here he comes again. Stopped this time around the 8 or 7-yard line. Pascal along with Lewis.
And that's the thing, Brent. It's not just Leonard Fornette, right? It's Terrence McGee, it's Kenny Hilliard, it's Darrell Williams. They got 4 guys that are at least 220 pounds. They'll rotate them in, and they're trying to beat you up. They are trying to wear you down and make you quit late in games.
The Alabama offensive line was able to do today against Texas A&M. Huge game for Yeldon as the running back. Comes McGee into the middle, and he battles his way across that 4-yard line. So it'll be 3rd down and goal. Lewis again with that stop. So from that favorable field position, the Tigers have traveled inside the 5-yard line here. And Les Miles' team moving very well at the start of this game. This is a football team, folks, that's going to get better and better. A lot of the experts have been looking away from this team. Jesse and I have had the privilege of watching a couple of things. This is a football team you might not want to play in November.
No doubt about it. Young, extremely talented.
3rd down and goal. Play action. Fullback's wide open. Incomplete. Just a touch high for Connor Neighbors. Had a shot at it. Could have made the catch. But it was just a little high from up here.
Connor Neighbors is a guy that missed the last couple games with an ankle injury suffered against Auburn. Wide open in the flat, just a little, as you said, just too high for the fullback to come up with that. A missed opportunity for LSU, but give Kentucky's defense credit. These first 2 drives, they've been getting marched on. And they stiffen up with their backs against the wall, forcing a field goal opportunity.
Delahousie. 21-yard field goal attempt. So he makes it 10-0, but Kentucky has to be pleased with the fact that they did not give up a touchdown.
Wednesday night, volleyball takes over the SEC network. Follow your favorite teams as they light up the courts in a battle for net supremacy. It's all-out, hard-fought action to finish on top in the SEC. This week, the Rebels look to stay unbeaten at home when they host the charging Lady Tigers. LSU Ole Miss, Wednesday at 7, only on the SEC network.
Just announced at Ross Downing Buick GMC.
Save $9,500 off MSRP on Ross Downing Buick GMC Sierra. Buy Sierra with $9,500 off.
RossDowningBuickGMC.com.
These days, you have to be careful which companies you trust. Like my satellite TV company. They neglected to mention that my price just about doubles in the second year of my contract. And if I want to get out of it, they'll hit me with termination fees of up to $500. I wonder what other fun surprises Satellite has up their sleeve.
Charter. No contracts, no surprises.
It's time to trade up now at Ross Downing Chevrolet. New 2015 Equinox, only $22,998. Ross Downing Equinox, now $22,998. RossDowning.com, where price makes people hurry to Hammond.
Coaching veteran Bradley Pavetto. He's ahead of the special teams here at LSU, but last year he was on Mark Stoops' staff over at Kentucky. So no one knows this team any better on the LSU side than Pavetto, because LSU did not play Kentucky. And after the drive bogged down, you could see that Pavetto went right over to Les Miles and was talking to him about what's going on out on the field. Then he has to turn around and get his kickoff team ready to go. He's an old-time Southern coach, folks, and he knows his ball. Les Miles' staff is one of the most impressive coaching staffs in the country because of the experience. I've been around a lot of these guys. Cam Cameron calling plays in the NFL, did a heck of a job. Chavis, the defensive coordinator, long time at Tennessee. Les Miles is very secure in his own skin. There's Chavis upstairs. He surrounds himself with outstanding assistant coaches. And it's Big John up there watching the defense. So Kentucky was 3 and out on its first drive, and now they'll try again. And here comes Boom Williams. And Boom went to special team coverage that time.
And Brent, you just get the feeling in this game, if Kentucky's going to win, sophomore quarterback Patrick Towles is going to have to make plays. They didn't ask him to do that a few weeks ago when they beat South Carolina because they ran the ball so well. But tonight against this LSU defense that's had problems stopping running quarterbacks, Towles is going to have to make plays with his feet. And you mentioned it earlier, he's best secondary in the SEC. He's going to have to be accurate throwing footballs against man-to-man coverage in very small windows tonight.
Williams is the running back behind Towles. They motion him out to use that Wildcat again. Nothing doing. LSU prepared defensively for this at length on Thursday.
And you notice there's nobody following Patrick Towles out of the backfield. So LSU defensively, they're not losing any numbers in the box. You can't right now. They've got 6 guys in there against 5 blockers for Kentucky. So it's a very good adjustment and preparation LSU has made defensively, getting prepared for the Wildcat.
2nd down and 10. Incomplete, and there was pressure again coming on the quarterback that time.
Towles had a one-on-one matchup with a true freshman Garrett Johnson facing off against another true freshman Jamal Adams at safety on that play. And Jamal Adams just was way too physical with the wide receiver. Just look to the left side of your screen. He's trying to throw a fake. You see right there, Adams has one hand on that receiver pushing him out of bounds. Kentucky's got to pick up the physicality. This is big boy football now. This is no joke.
Coach wanted an interference call across that when he saw his receiver down. Might have had a case on that. Hurd is alongside Tolles. Tolles down at the original line of scrimmage. Jamal Adams and folks number 33. John Chavis said he reminds him of Eric Berry. Those of you who follow the SEC, Eric Berry, one of the great safeties to come out of this conference in the last decade. First-round draft choice of the Kansas City Chiefs. I've never heard a coach talk about a freshman like that, Jesse.
Well, this play starts with Quan Alexander blitzing off the edge, forcing Tolles to step up in the pocket. And you're right, Brent. We talk about all the youth and the talent that LSU has on offense, true freshmen. But some of these young defenders they've gotten. Jamal Adams, he's one of the best.
White is back deep again, 3 and out. White's going to take it outside. He gets a crushing block. Gets the outside, headed for the end zone. It's a touchdown, folks, but go back to that block. Unbelievable. That was Jamal Adams, we believe. We were just raving about him. He threw a crushing block and opened the way for a 67-yard touchdown return. What a performance by his special teams so far here tonight. Delahousse on for the extra point. Kentucky in trouble. This could be known as blowout Saturday in the SEC. Already Alabama and Georgia. And now LSU. Watch this block. Oh my. Take it home, big fella.
They aren't born Cardinals or Razorbacks. They need a little help. So for 10 years, the Allstate Nets program has supported scholarships to help students prepare for a life that's good.
McElroy takes the snap, drops back into the pocket. He's flushed out and runs left. He's looking. Oh, he's got Nelson across the middle. Nelson gets the block. Burst through the secondary. Are you kidding me? Down the sideline he goes to the 10.
We're proud to be the official chicken of sports fans. Zaxby's, indescribably good.
After 10 years of providing top-notch customer service and quality products, we're still rated #1 by the Wall Street Journal for do-it-yourself paint chip repairs. Our signature dab, smear, and blend process allows you to make professional, permanent repairs on your car. And now our squirt and squeegee method makes it even easier to fix the most heavily chipped vehicles. Simply squirt a little paint on the panel, squeegee it smooth over the chips, then blend as usual. Go to drcolorchip.com. That's drcolorchip.com.
Something got a hold over me. Yeah, something got a hold of me.
There is Jamal Adams after his defensive play from the secondary. Comes up with one of the more devastating blocks of this season.
A successful punt return touchdown, two things have to happen. The returner's got to make people miss. Tre'Davious White makes the first guy miss. There's the block. It's textbook fundamentals by Jamal Adams on A.J. Stamps. Debo Jones out in front gets a big block. And the special teams for LSU are just playing lights out right now. There's a great kick return to start the game by Terrence McGee. Of course, they got the field goal, and now this punt return score. LSU's dominating in all three facets of this football game.
When LSU plays on a Saturday night in Baton Rouge, every Saturday night game is Halloween, boys. It's trick or treat. Here they come. Williams slips down shy of the 20-yard line. Great coverage.
Guess who?
Great returns.
Jamal
Was he
Adams,
there again?
33, made the play. He's all over the field right now. Just leave him out there. If you're LSU, leave him out there. Put him at running back.
First LSU punt return for a TD since Odell Beckham. Now playing Sunday football. He did it for the Tigers.
So Kentucky now, Brett, they've got to answer somehow. They've got to generate some momentum, try and silence this crowd. They've only been on the field 6 plays so far, 2 consecutive 3-and-outs. Time to start making some plays.
Tolles, nowhere. Rasco, who played well in Gainesville last week, the first to hit him, number 59.
We talked about Dak Prescott, Nick Marshall, Jeff Driscoll at Florida. Even New Mexico State had success running their quarterbacks against LSU. Kentucky saw that on film. They knew that Tolles was going to come into this game. Magic number, probably 10 to 12 design carries for him. They're going to need.
Hurd is stopped as he crosses the 20. Penalty flag thrown by the umpire. Lukacher with the stop.
Might get a face mask on Lukacher, I think. Like live when I was watching that, he might have got a paw up into the face mask. The ball carrier.
Personal foul, grasping the face mask. Number 59 defense. 15-yard penalty, automatic, first down.
I actually thought it was number 91, Lukacher, that got his hand on it. We'll take a look at this again. Rasco's kind of got his hands in the air like he doesn't really know what's going on. Look right here, 91. See who gets that left hand? It was him. It wasn't Jamoria Roscoe. So little miscommunication there in the number, but finally a first down for Kentucky.
They swing it to Williams on that outside. He's out of bounds. So they got their initial first down here tonight on a penalty, and then they come back with Williams on that swing pass, and that a pretty good first down for the Wildcats.
He was one-on-one, Brent, outside with Kendall Beck with 52, who misses the tackle, and that's something we're going to continue to watch on defense. They changed their starting middle linebacker last game to 52. He was a converted defensive end, a lot of talent, big guy, 250 pounds, but tackling's been an issue for them in the middle of the field. Got to keep an eye on that throughout the rest of this game.
JoJo Kemp is right behind Tolles. This is Kemp, and he's shy of the first down. It'll be 3rd and short.
Just really important, Kentucky, to keep this drive going. Got to find a way to generate points, and doing a nice job getting positive yardage on the first 2 downs. They've got some big body backs they can bring in the game. Right now they're sticking with JoJo Kemp. He's their smallest, but you can't discount the quarterback run in this situation.
DJ Warren, Wildcat formation with Kemp. Warren is the lead blocker. And that time he appeared to get it. We will wait the spot and see, but when we watched it live, I thought that the ball had reached the yellow television marker that indicates it.
Watching film, I really like what Kentucky does with their Wildcat formations. I think offensive coordinator Neil Brown's done a great job putting this package in this offseason. They've got different formations. 3 different running backs can line up in the Wildcat. They run it out in the field. They run it in the red zone. They've got trick plays out of it. And they lined up in this formation the entire 4th quarter against South Carolina and won that game. The Gamecocks could not stop it. It's been good for Kentucky. They're going to need it for it to continue being good in this game tonight.
So they moved the chains for the first time with their offense. 2 first downs on this drive. The initial one came via penalty.
See offensive coordinator Neil Brown there, dialing them up, trying to get this offense in a rhythm. We've seen a lot of quick throws from Patrick Tolles early in this game, and some quarterback runs as well.
Press coverage from the corners. Tolles again with that short swing pass. Timmons And he picks up about a yard.
We talked about this being the best secondary in the SEC, and it's not just coverage, but it's speed, flying to the ball, tackling in open space, and Ronald Martin does a nice job there. You see Timmons is going to come in motion. This is basically just a sweep, spitting it outside and trying to get a more agile receiver to make a guy miss. Can't do it. A lot of speed in this LSU D.
Tolles fakes the handoff into coverage, and it's picked off at the 40-yard line. Let's see, Martin. Let's see, did they rule it incomplete? I think they waved it off. I think the ball had hit the ground. Ronald Martin was there along with Jalen Collins.
And Brent, I think Kentucky got very lucky on this one. They're trying to throw Blake Bone, true freshman, a little out route at the top, but I think Tolles took a little bit off that throw. It was Collins that actually swatted that away. Had he not swatted it away, you wonder if Ronald Martin might have been able to make that pick. Nonetheless, 3rd and long again now. Protection's got to be critical for Kentucky. Give Tolles an opportunity because now they have to throw the ball down the field.
Moves the pocket to the left. Good throw for the first down that time, and it was Garrett Johnson working that far side. Nice throw by Tolles, moving to the hard side for a right-hander, moving to the left.
I love that play call, Brent. Expecting pressure, and you roll the pocket, you move the launch point, and give Tolles an opportunity to make a big completion.
LSU late getting a player on the field. Throw now against that. Incomplete, and he was throwing for Ryan Timmons, the young man from Frankfort, Kentucky. This penalty is on LSU.
Yeah, they had a late substitution. It was a good job by Kentucky to go fast with tempo, and I thought it was Devin Godshaw when I was watching that live, number 57. He was late jogging on the field and was offside. So heads-up play by Tolles, taking a shot knowing he had a free play.
Illegal substitution on the defense. 5-yard penalty, previous spot.
Let's go back to the sideline on that 3rd down, and Stoops is trying to get a timeout, but he could not. And Tolles, fortunately for Kentucky, he could not get the timeout.
Good thing. Sometimes things just work out, and all of a sudden this offense, they're into that rhythm that they needed to get into here, knocking on the door.
Tolles throws for another first down, and Landon DeMarco Robinson gets it done.
And I love this play because it's misdirection in the passing game. They swing a player out to the right side of the formation. The defense thinks that's where Tolles going with the ball. See this player moving out to your left, and all of a sudden the last second turns around, and there's the wide receiver screen.
The tempo working for the Wildcats. Incomplete. But Tolles is moving the ball by throwing it with this tempo offense.
Yeah, sometimes you just got to get into a rhythm. And part of that is finding easy completions. And I think Kentucky's offensive coordinator Neil Brown's done a good job with that. But that big 3rd down throw we just showed you rolling out to his left, I think has done a lot for his confidence here as well, playing in this hostile environment.
So they bring in an extra receiver in this package. Williams has gone to the outside as one of the wideouts. Tolles alone back there on this 2nd down and 10. Deflected, incomplete again by Hunter. So Daniil Hunter has deflected 2 passes here tonight.
He's a 6'6" body with very long arms. He's a hard guy to throw around, but he's just playing very smart. He understands in these quick throws he's not going to get in the backfield. He doesn't have enough time to get home, so he watches the quarterback's eyes. Look at him over here on the left side, 94. Times that perfectly. It's like dunking an alley-oop.
Jamal Adams back on the field. John Chavis continues to substitute in that secondary on almost every play. Braylon Hurd alongside Tolles for Kentucky with a huge 3rd down for the Wildcats. Tolles gets time. Has to come to the outside to Timmons. Timmons battling toward that first down marker, and he's shy in his 4th down. Now they're down 17. Will they take the 3 Or will they go for it here and try to pick up a first down?
I think you take the points, understanding young football team, important game, on the road, hostile environment. You got to find a way to create momentum somehow, and I like this decision by head coach Mark Stoops. You've got to make this long drive pay off.
Well, Austin McGinnis is on. Leak the holder from the right hash. A 28-yard attempt to put Kentucky on the board here in Baton Rouge. They show an extra blocker and then move him back. That was DJ Warren.
Delay of game. Offense. 5-yard penalty. Remains fourth down.
You know, some of these trick plays that they're trying to put in with the special teams have sort of blown up in their face here.
You're right. They've kind of come out and they're almost trying to, like you say, trick and kind of get some free plays against LSU tonight on special teams. They're trying to force an offside and get a free first down. I like the thought. Obviously, you got to then have a lot of confidence in your own kicker to back up 5 yards. Put this through.
Yeah, now it becomes a 33-yard attempt for McGinnis. Kentucky on the board. 33-yard field goal by Austin McGinnis. Young man's out of Alabama, redshirt freshman. Kentucky looked good on that drive.
Life in the NFL was tough on my body. I live with muscle and joint soreness every day. And life after football can be just as tough. That's why for knee and elbow support, I choose CopperFit.
CopperFit, advanced compression garments to help relieve muscle and joint soreness.
With my active lifestyle, my body reminds me it needs the support.
Therapeutic fabric blended with copper to aid in faster recovery and performance and guaranteed relief of muscle aches and pains. Call 1-800-586-8356 or on the web at getcopperfit.com. Get your elbow or knee for $19.99. Order now and receive a second sleeve free.
For this old arm, I choose CopperFit. Go. Oh, come on. That was a perfect pass.
Feel the relieving power of copper compression. Feel the power of CopperFit. ESPN is your home of the new college football playoff.
Nick Saban of the Crimson Tide said today, don't forget about us. 59-0 over Texas A&M in a very rugged division, the SEC West. Mississippi State, Mississippi, Auburn, Alabama, and LSU.
9th best division in the National Football League.
Absolutely.
That's what we say every week.
There's Leonard Fornette. Take a touchback.
First down for the Tigers.
Special teams for LSU have just been outstanding for Coach Bradley Pavetto.
Yeah, and it started on the very first play of the game. A kick to Terrence McGee. You see Kentucky's coverage unit not getting down enough in time, and there's a converted wide receiver who now plays running back in the backfield, making a big return. You get the personal foul penalty, and then how about Tre'Davious White, a punt return, making a few guys miss. Huge block by Jamal Adams. Nice block by Debo Jones. Takes it to pay dirt. 2 big returns have set up the 2 touchdowns for LSU in this game. Yeah, give that guy some camera time, man. Publish it. And there you go. How about that? Under Les Miles, 18-1 when they score a special teams touchdown. That's not good news if you're Kentucky.
First down and 10 from the 25 after the touchback, and here's the freshman Fornette behind the left side of that line. Jesse's talked about it, but Lael Collins, number 70, probably figures to be, if you study Mel Kiper's list, probably figures to be a first-round draft choice. 6'5", 321, number 70. But right next to him, Badal Alexander, number 74, I believe he was the offensive lineman of the week for his performance against Florida. So these are 2 outstanding players over there on the left side.
And that's where when they need to have it on running plays, they're going to run behind the beef. 320-pound left tackle, 340-pound left guard. That's the point of attack.
2nd and 7. Fornette got that edge. And the first down. A powerful freshman.
That's the thing, a 230-pound running back, Brent, and he has the ability to move the pile. There's a lot of hidden yardage when you have a running back like Leonard Fornette, because the first defender is very, very rarely ever going to get him to the ground. It's a huge advantage when you have the rare combination of power and speed that LSU has with this fabulous true freshman.
Seconds ticking away here in the opening quarter. Plenty of time for Jennings. And there's a penalty flag which came down. Hatcher brought the quarterback down.
Hatcher.
Thanks.
Made the tackle. And there's a flag.
Holding, number 74, White. Offense, 10-yard penalty, remains first.
So that is Alexander after we brag on him. We saw the first appearance of tight end number 44 here tonight. Jeter was in that formation, and because of the penalty, they'll play another down. You saw that the clock had zeroed out, but there's a penalty on this play.
Well,
on the previous play, so they'll close it out.
Yeah, you know, and LSU trying to establish the run early, hoping to set up play action pass opportunities. Kentucky that time on defense did a great job getting back in coverage. That was really a coverage sack, nowhere to go. And there are some dudes up front in this front seven for Kentucky that can rush the passer. You got to be careful.
And on the final play of the opening quarter, it is Fornette tackled by Alvin Dupree. So the Tigers explode in Baton Rouge on a Louisiana Saturday night. 17-3. Tigers over the Wildcats.
Shelter Insurance has covered a lot of miles and a lot of cars and drivers since 1946. We like knowing we have you covered, so you can just sit back and enjoy the ride. Shelter Insurance. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
You know how fast you were going?
Yeah, about 55.
Where are you headed at such an appropriate speed?
Across the country to enhance the nation's most reliable 4G LTE network. How's it working for you?
Better than ever. How'd you do it?
Added cell sites, increased capacity.
And your point is?
So you can download music, games, and directions for the road when you need them.
Who's this guy?
Oh, that's Charlie.
You ever put pepper spray on your burrito? I like it spicy, but not like, ooh, spicy.
You always like this?
You have no idea.
AT&T, the nation's most reliable 4G LTE network.
Ladies and gentlemen, the case of death. Madam, if you will take your place. 12 swords, sharpened like razor blades. I will now insert the first blade.
No, stop!
Okay, continue.
When Delta bath, shower, toilet, and faucet innovations make getting clean just as beautiful as getting dirty, that's happy mess. See what Delta can do.
What a turnaround for this LSU football team.
So number 8 goes down to unranked Mississippi State in a thriller in Baton Rouge.
Pressure on Jennings. Well, that's picked off.
But we're going to need both quarterbacks.
LSU never had a chance in this one tonight.
You want to keep pace in the SEC West. Tonight is a must-win game for them.
And the kick has the distance. Get through there. Get through. The Tigers win.
All kind of fight, all kind of toughness, all kind of talent.
Getting better by the game, Jesse.
I think the biggest concern for LSU at the start of the year was the youth on offense, and you wondered how long it would take for them to grow up. Big games against Mississippi State, Auburn, Florida, and Ole Miss before the month of November. Now, it cost them against Mississippi State and Auburn, but all of a sudden you're seeing this offense play a lot better. These young players, you mentioned it. You don't want to play these guys late in the season because they are growing up.
Hilliard now the running back, and there's a throw to him as he slips out of the backfield, and he's pushed out of bounds at the 43-yard line by Henderson. You could see the backup quarterback, Jesse, over there on the sideline, young Brandon Harris, with a headset. He's following the coach, and he's saying, you know, this looks like a game where I'm going to get a series. You know, he didn't get one against Florida.
Yeah, well, he started the game at Auburn on the road, struggled dramatically, and lost the quarterback competition last week before their game against Florida. They wanted, as you mentioned, to get him in to last week's game. The opportunity never really presented itself. This guy's a massive talent as well, the number 2 dual-threat quarterback coming out of high school, and we expect at some point tonight to see him.
3rd down and 6. That signals McGee. Look at the pass protection he offers. 1st down on a fine throw to Traven Durrell, I should certainly correct myself. Willis with the stop.
And this is the reason McGee's such a great 3rd down back. It's another great job of pass protection off the edge. Kentucky's going to bring their safety number 1, A.J. Stamps. It gets picked up. There's a one-on-one opportunity for Jennings to his best wide receiver running a shallow cross.
Down the sideline, deep. Durrell, of course, they have hooked up several times. Jennings hit him for a big 3rd and 25 in Gainesville, and then a touchdown pass.
And that's the thing that scares you to death, I think, about LSU, because you know they're going to run, and then want to load the box like Kentucky is tonight. You're susceptible to these one-on-one shots outside with one of the best deep threats in the country in Traven Durrell, and you've got a true freshman in Malachi Dupree that can go down and get the football as well.
Williams is now the running back. They check over to the sideline. Cam Cameron up in the box. This is young Williams, and he's punched out of bounds by Forrest.
I'm impressed watching Forrest. I've watched a lot of tape on him, Brent, and I love his athleticism for a guy that's 235 pounds that can fly. But I question his physicality, and I wasn't sure if this was the game that he was built for. But so far tonight, he's bringing the wood. I mean, that's a big-time 230-pound running back in Darrell Williams, but he just trucks out of bounds. You could tell. We talked about them having to bring their big boy pads. I've been impressed so far with Kentucky's front seven.
Third and 4. Jennings in trouble. Under pressure. Incomplete. But it was the defensive pressure that forced that bad pass that time. Wildcats all over him. Jesse, you were right. The front seven's playing very well here.
And guess who, Brent? Number 45, Josh Forrest, coming right up the middle. Cover 0 look right here. Coming into your living room. We talked about that former wide receiver speed. There he is. Keeps his feet. Jennings has no shot. He's got to get rid of that early. And a good job of coverage downfield by Cody Quinn. Sets up the punt.
Jamie Keene back to punt. Robinson back deep for the Wildcats. It's a high punt, so forced to make the fair catch, and he puts Kentucky back inside their own 10-yard line. Outstanding job here by the punter from Australia, Jamie Keene. Oh yeah, here he comes. Good job, 45.
It's a man of 22 years old and strong. Held fast to blessings.
With all you have to do, sometimes you need a helpful reminder or a word of encouragement from the people you love. At Belk, we're helping to fit early detection into your busy schedule. Make your mammogram appointment today at belk.com/pink.
It's good to check what you're being charged. These guys charged me extra for lettuce.
on a burger. Lettuce. Guess I should have been checking my satellite TV bill just as closely. They add on all kinds of charges I wasn't aware of, like a primary TV fee and an extra $10 a month just to get HD. Really?
With Charter, you get more without paying extra.
These days, you have to be careful which companies you trust. Like my satellite TV company. They neglected to mention that my price just about doubles in the second year of my contract. And if I want to get out of it, they'll hit me with termination fees of up to $500. I wonder what other fun surprises Satellite has up their sleeve.
Charter. No contracts, no surprises.
Here, kitty, kitty. Nice kitty. Come on, Mike. There you are. Is he a beauty or what, Jess?
Yeah, he's gorgeous.
Jacqueline.
Up here in this booth.
Jacqueline Jameson, our stage manager, she goes and takes photos of Mike every time we come in. We want to wish her a happy birthday.
Yeah, happy birthday.
You're younger.
Yeah, absolutely. Happy birthday.
Jackie, nice job. There's your favorite putty cat.
How close does she get to our guy, Mike the Tiger?
So it's first down and 10 now for Tolles and Kentucky. This will be something after that stop now if they can move right back down the field on him. Tolles with that play action in the end zone. Now he's got to hurry. They got speed and incomplete on the play.
There's tremendous pressure on this play by LSU, and it's a great job by Patrick Tolles getting outside of Daniil Hunter. And, you know, it's amazing working to his left that he was able to get this football by the line of scrimmage. This was very close to being intentional grounding in the end zone and almost a safety.
Second and 10 for Tolles. And that's incomplete, and now it is third and 10.
Backed up in your own end for Patrick Tolles. That's a throw he needed to come up with, and he knows it. Upset it himself. Again, these windows are very small when you're playing this LSU defense because of the secondary. You got to be able to take what they give you. You talk about the poise of this young sophomore quarterback now. Back in his own end, one of the louder sections in Tiger Stadium. Got to make a good decision here.
The corners are saying, beat me if you can. Get off that line of scrimmage and just see if you can get open. And here they come, the corner's right there, and they make a completion. They did get it complete. And that's DeMarco Robinson, the senior from Ellenwood, Georgia. And it was on target. The coverage was great. The corner was right there, but watch this pass and catch.
Well, it's a great job by Tolles knowing where he had a one-on-one opportunity outside. And DeMarco Robinson just outfights the corner for the catch. It was a nice throw by Tolles, putting enough air under it, allowing his receiver to adjust. And that was a huge completion, not just to keep the drive alive, but now to completely flip the field.
On the third down, a 33-yard gain. Remember that play. That was huge. If nothing else, that bailed them out of a bad field position situation. And Boom Williams now checks in with Tolles, number 14. Tolles battles his way to the 45-yard line on that first down run. Remember what Jesse told you, that the coaches want Tolles to carry the ball upwards of a dozen times here tonight.
He's got a unique skill set, Brent, for a guy as big as he is, at 6'5", 240 pounds, in this air raid offense. Remember, Johnny Manziel was a runner in this style of offense. Trevon Boykin at TCU, the same thing. Tolles doesn't have their speed necessarily, but he brings a different dynamic, and he handcuffs you as a defensive coordinator because of his skill sets.
Watch the umpire. He's still stopping play. Says to the center, get up. He has not released him. And
Kentucky,
timeout.
first charge timeout of the half.
Mark Stoops. burns a timeout, so we'll take a break. When you come back, remember, it'll be 3rd and 8 for the Wildcats.
The new College Football Hall of Fame and Chick-fil-A fan experience puts you closer to the game than ever before. Featuring over 30,000 square feet of interactive exhibits that make it feel like game day every day. Get your tickets now at cfbhall.com.
Getting the new DQ $5 lunch with not one but 2 crispy chicken wraps? That's like...
You've got 1 wrap plus fries, drink, and a sundae. You want to spin for more?
Yes, I'll spin for more.
He's going to spin for more. Right. Great spin. You did it!
Who's the big winner?
Everyone.
The new Chicken Wraps $5 lunch, only at your DQ. This is fan food, not fast food.
Okay, let's settle down.
All right, let's see that flea flicker. What's this?
Flag.
Show me that double wing formation.
Flag.
Doesn't really know football, does he?
No. But when I got hurt, he paid my claim in only 4 days.
4 days? Wow. Okay, last chance. The play action. Okay, forget it.
Aflac, an official partner of the Heisman Trophy.
Dory Noka in studio with your SEC Right Now, brought to you by State Farm. 3rd-ranked Ole Miss hosting Tennessee. 7-3 game when Jalen Walton takes one in from 7. Couple of interceptions thrown by Justin Worley. 14-3 Rebels in Oxford.
All right, Dari, and of course Mississippi State goes into Lexington next week. You fans up there in Kentucky, you want to see that one. Mississippi State right now the #1 team in the country. This team will be coming home, and they put in a good product on the field here for Coach Mark Stoops. Done an outstanding job, facing some difficulty here in Baton Rouge, but hasn't everybody at one time or another. Here's Braylon Hurd, long side tolls. Here comes the blitz against the pressure. Incomplete. I don't know that Timmons saw the ball. Not quite sure. They had eye contact. Quarterback had to release early because of the pressure.
Well, we've seen John Chavis, the defensive coordinator at LSU, dial up the heat on 3rd down to force the ball out of Patrick Toll's hands early. As you see Jamal Adams coming off the edge. There's Jalen Mills at safety in Toll's face, and they're trying to run kind of similar to a smash concept, and they had Timmons. It was a very well thrown ball by Toll. If he just sticks his hands out and locates the ball, you know, he might have scored.
White back deep again on this punt. Fields it. Shakes a tackle, breaks a tackle, and then battles his way out to the 21-yard line. Tough return by White. Reminder now to tune into ESPN SEC Network on Sunday for a rewind of a classic. You Texas A&M fans might want to watch this one. You did a lot better in this one than you did today. Okay, 2012, Alabama versus Texas A&M, Sunday at 10 p.m. on ESPN SEC Network. If you haven't heard, Alabama lowered the boom. You know, Nick Saban in his news conference earlier this week, he was upset. He said the fans didn't give that team enough credit for that 14-13 hard win in Fayetteville. 59-0. How do fans like that one? Here comes Fornette. Now he's back in as a running back for LSU. Thrown for a loss. And again, it is Henderson. The linebackers, Jesse, for Kentucky are playing very well.
They're playing downhill right now, Brent. And the thing you like about Mark Stoops and this defense for Kentucky, they've got athletes all across the board. Some he's recruited and out of high school, some out of JUCO. But look at Khalid Henderson right here. They're doing a great job of recognizing it's a zone stretch play to the left. He's not even trying to find the ball carrier. He's trying to get to the point of impact, and he beat Leonard Fornette to that area and made the stop.
2nd down and 13. 100,000 fans here in Baton Rouge tonight in Death Valley. Jennings with an option look. Keeps it. couldn't quite make up his mind whether to use Fornette or not that time.
I'm impressed, Brent. We talked about, was Kentucky's defense built to stop the run? After all the issues they've had early this year, and they were able to sneak by South Carolina and still get a win. Couldn't overcome it against Florida, but defensive coordinator DJ Elliott and his guys, they're just playing more physical. They're holding LSU right now to about 3.5 yards per carry. That's pretty good.
So McGee will check in as the pass protector. He has been outstanding tonight for LSU. He's in that backfield. Number 18, Fornette is also in. Fornette can run the wheel route. He slips out, and so did McGee that time. They use him as a receiver, not a protector, and he picked up the first down. Good play call by Cam Cameron.
It was a great job by Anthony Jennings throwing under duress. He had defensive tackle C.J. Johnson right in his grill. You're going to see 67 with the pressure originally on Jennings. He just swims inside, and there he is. But it's a better job here by McGee, making the first guy miss, getting into the secondary, falling forward. That is a complete third down back, pass protecting and catching the ball.
Cameron from second from the right there. Formerly offensive coordinator of the Ravens, brief stint as head coach of the Dolphins. Played basketball for Bobby Knight along with football at Indiana. McGee banging for about 3 yards. If you ever get a chance to just have a football conversation with Cam Cameron, he's
pretty good, isn't he?
Yeah, he's outstanding. He's one of the best, and what a pickup it was for Les Miles when he became a free agent after his days at Baltimore. They were able to sign him as the offensive coordinator.
He had a really good play call last week against the Gators on 3rd and 25, didn't he?
He claims it's on his chart. All I can tell you is he says he's got a 3rd and 25.
Draven Durrell gets a 3rd and 25 bomb against the Gators on a coverage bust. Can't
play
get ahead of it.
Here's Jennings rolling. Dropped by Dupree, and good coverage that time by Cody Quinn.
So let's go back and take a look at this last week. 3rd and 25, 3rd in California. Look up top of the screen. There's a coverage bust by the Gators. This is the biggest play in the game for LSU's offense. That would set up a touchdown pass on the next play. Beautiful one-handed grab, one of the best catches of the season. There's PI on that. Draven Durrell made the catch, and LSU snuck out. The field goal to win with 3 seconds left. Cam Cameron told us he had that dialed up. Pretty good. Don't know if I believe it, but pretty good.
I know. 3rd down and 7. McGee back in on this 3rd down. He's going to protect this time, and he could not knock his man out of the way. And as a result, that Kentucky assault, Douglas and Smith. And there is a penalty flag, however, thrown on the play.
Flag on the play. Holding number 77 on offense. That penalty declined. 4th down.
That's big. Posick. No, I'm not kidding when I say big. Up around 6'7".
Well, we talked about all these athletes that Kentucky has in their front seven. It starts with Mike Douglas. He's going to just do a little tackle stunt in the middle of the screen. He doesn't get the sack, but he forces Jennings to hold on to it just for a split second longer, and that allows Zadarius Smith to clean up the mess.
Do you think, Jesse, if we started this game over, that Mark Stoops might take those trick plays out of the special teams?
Yeah, maybe.
Let's play them straight up here. Robinson, there is a whistle before the punt here by Keene. Special teams, the difference in this football game so far.
False start, 45, offense, 5-yard penalty, remains 4th down.
There's a special teams coach who was on Mark Stoops' staff a year ago, as we told you earlier. Coach Pavetto, a long time coach. Northwestern State, I think he was a head coach even for a while.
Well, this is big right now by this Kentucky defense. Getting these stops and gaining momentum and confidence. Not only that, getting the football back to Patrick Tolles in good position.
Fair catch at the 35-yard line by DeMarco Robinson. There is the sack of the LSU quarterback by Hunter. Great opportunity coming up now for the Wildcats.
Hey, look, it's the State Farm guy. You pumped up our wallets with the discount double checking, so we went through pump you out.
Sorry, what?
Pull us, you flapping loser!
You'll thank us later.
Pump up your savings with a discount double check. State Farm. Is Interstate the best battery in the world?
We say yes.
Interstate Batteries. Outrageously dependable.
Where my dogs at? Where my dogs at? Where my dogs at? Who can get it? Anybody? Who can get it? Anybody? Who can get it? Anybody?
Football's king in South Mississippi. All summer, running 7-on-7, 98 degrees, busting your butt for one thing. That's to play on Friday nights. This is a man's game. You understand? You're going to get hit in the mouth, you're going to get challenged. Our quarterback wears a Tommy Copper elbow sleeve, and he loves that. We got to make sure that we play at the highest level we can play. Anytime you can get your kids in a high-quality product, I think they perform a little bit better. If you feel good, you play good. If you look good, you perform better. And we wear it every day. Looking for leaders, guys! Bring the energy every day. Tommy Copper helps us bring our kids back a little bit quicker, maybe than normal. We've got every one of our kids in Tommy Copper. There are gonna be days when it's hard. That's why you play the game, is because you love it. To get the best compression in the game, go to TommyCopper.com.
SEC Network Primetime Football is brought to you by the new College Football Hall of Fame, where it's game day every day.
Coach Mark Stoops mic'd up before the start of this game.
Here we go, here we go. Let's go, Big Z. You ready to roll? Let's go, let's go. Let's go, bud. Let's go, bud. Let's get this, let's go. Come on, Big Mike. Let's do it, come on. You gotta slow him down, Neil. Slow him down. They're all juiced up. We don't have as many guys. Hey, let's go, Trayvon. Gotta play physical, man. Let's go. Pull the trigger. Got me? Let's go. Hey, Khalid. Just like last week, man. Put it together again. You got me? Get after it. Play aggressive. Play confident. You got me? Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Come on.
Part of a remarkable family from Youngstown, Ohio. 3 brothers, all coaching at an elite level in college. Bob Stoops, of course, at Oklahoma. Brother Mike was the head coach at Arizona, now an assistant at Oklahoma. Here's Mark at Kentucky. JoJo Kemp. And somebody misread it, and Toles made the most of it.
Well, that's just how you dial it up. If you're Kentucky on offense.
He made the most out of nothing.
The play was dead from the beginning. I mean, Toles turns around to hand the football off, and his running back's not there. So there's a miscommunication somewhere. But here's an example of the athleticism by Toles. You know, you don't freak out. There's the poise. Just go get what you can get. Not a lot of guys 6'5", 240 run like that.
Grandpa Jim Bunning would have loved that. Handoff now, and that coming around is Boom Williams. He's out of bounds at around the talk about the 43-yard line, and there's trouble here out of bounds. Williams, and he was exchanging words with Quan Alexander.
Well, Brent, you know, we went back. We just saw Mark Stoops before the game talking to his troops. I think they understand how big of an opportunity this is, not just to keep in control of their own destiny in the SEC East, but I think tonight's game gives them an opportunity for validation.
After being down by 17, they've hung tough. Marched for a field goal. Stopped LSU a couple of times. Can't get the first down on that play as Tre'Davious White.
And I'm not trying to take anything away from their win against South Carolina. That's huge a couple weeks ago for a program that hadn't won a conference game in the last 2 years. But to come into LSU, a perennial power in the SEC, and get this win tonight, that's a huge statement for Mark Stoops. All the energy and excitement he's built at Kentucky. It's just hard to quantify what a win tonight would mean for this football program.
JoJo Kemp in on this 3rd and 1. And he motions out, so it's Wildcat. Kemp tried to read the daylight and picks it up. It's interesting how they run this. Jesse talked about it early. They're a little more patient when they run it than some of the Wildcats we have seen. It isn't that well named for a Kentucky team. But you saw Kemp look and see where he might get his crease to pick up the first down. Interesting.
Well, it's a power running attack, and they like to pull a lot of linemen on these power plays when they run these Wildcat plays. So you're going to see this coming around the outside, and the running back Kemp, he's got to just pause a second and allow the tight end Stephen Borden as right guard Ramsey Myers to come across there. But you're right, they do a tremendous job executing those Wildcat plays.
Now Boom Williams is the running back behind Toles. Boom's got a crease. made the most of it.
You got to hold your breath every time 18 has the ball. Only a true freshman. Great vision. He's really good at cutting. If you want to ask somebody, ask the Florida Gators. Remember that first overtime play he had? They swung it out to him. He cut back across the entire field, made about 5 guys miss, and scored. A lot of talent, young guys on LSU's offense, no doubt about it. But hey, Mark Stoops has gone out and recruited his butt off. He's got some young ballers himself. Boom Williams is one of the best ones he's got.
Come back with him. It'll be 3rd and short. Kendall Beckwith hit the running back first.
So you're seeing Kentucky, they've stopped throwing the short throws, trying to manufacture 3- and 4-yard gains. Now they're just going back to running the football conventionally early in the downs. They've had more success with that, keeping these 3rd downs manageable now. JoJo Kemp's on the field. You got to think they're going Wildcat here.
Tolles will line up in the pistol for the time being. He'll bring motion with his wide out, and he will play action. They're going to throw on it. Tough play. Ball was intended for Blue. Javis Blue out of bounds, which brings up a 4th and 2. I think, Jesse, you thought that they should continue with that running game.
Yeah, well, they had some success, and when they've been in those situations, the Wildcats, what they've liked to go to in recent weeks. And Tolles has had some small windows to throw into and throws that he should have hit that he's missed. We talked about him having to be able to make plays. You're kind of in that no-man land right now if you're Kentucky. But remember, the Wildcat is the best thing they've done running the ball the last several weeks. And with JoJo Kemp in the backfield, I think that's what they're going to do here.
Tolles and Stoops went to a timeout. He didn't like what he saw defensively
Kentucky,
on that play.
Second charge, timeout.
With 5:21 to go here in the first half. Kentucky burns its 2nd timeout and will return.
SEC Soccer fires up the South Thursday night on the SEC Network. Pivotal matchups highlight an action-packed schedule all season long. As the best soccer players in the conference go head-to-head on the road to the SEC Championship. This week, Mississippi State heads to Auburn as both teams battle to move up in the SEC standings. Mississippi State, Auburn, Thursday at 7, only on the SEC Network.
We're not asking you for a huge down payment. How about $299 a month for a new 2014 Nissan Altima with 0 down? Where's this great deal? At Bill Hood Nissan in Hammond. You don't have to lease to get low payments. For only $299 a month, you own a new 2014 Nissan Altima. Say yes to better prices. Say yes to lower payments. Plus, come by, receive a free Join the Fight t-shirt to help support breast cancer awareness. At Bill Hood Nissan in Hammond. See more great deals. BillHoodNissan.com.
Listen up, sports fans. If you drive a truck, you know it's all about stats. And at the Built Ford Tough Sales event, we've got the numbers right here. Ford Super Duty, best-in-class horsepower and max towing capacity. That's how you punch it right up the gut, pal. And here's another stat, folks. F-Series has been America's best-selling truck for 37 straight years. That's called a dynasty, baby.
Now get $4,000 total cash back on Ford Super Duty. Only at your Southern Quality Ford dealer.
Just a few minutes from seeing you on the Regions Bank Halftime Report. Dory Nooka, Greg McElroy, and Booger McFarland. We will show you how Baylor went down. So one top 5 team down. Florida State's in trouble. Alabama rolled. 4th and 2 coming up for Kentucky. What are you doing?
Misdirection, run pass option for Patty Tolles. Wildcat, simple.
That is simple, guys.
Guys, it's not that easy. But I like the idea. Nevertheless, Tolles with 19 yards does happen to be Kentucky's leading rusher. He's 7 of 17 for 74. The breeze picking up just a little bit here, Jesse, as we get ready for this 4th down. I think everybody feels that if Kentucky can somehow manufacture a touchdown, first they need to manufacture a 1st down here. Get in before the intermission, down 17-10. They will have made a great game of it.
Huge for their momentum playing on the road in this type of hostile environment. JoJo Kemp at running back, he's lined up really shallow, and that usually signifies Wildcats coming.
There's the motion by the quarterback. There's the Wildcat. There's nothing there. That was blown up. I'll tell you, Hunter has had a heck of a first half. Daniil Hunter, number 94.
Daniil Hunter has tremendous quicks, an explosion off the ball, and tremendous speed. And on this play, he actually beat the backside pulling guard, Ramsey Myers, to the hole. So check this out. Coming right here, there's going to be a collision, and he just beats his man at the point of attack. Just too much speed, too much athleticism. He's able to make the play in the backfield. That was a big stop for LSU's defense.
Took on 2 blockers. That turns the ball over to LSU with Fornette. 5 minutes to go here in the first half. Fornette battles his way close to the 35-yard line on first down. Let's go back and check the reaction on this 4th down.
Mark Stoops had called the timeout so they could talk it over and try to get the best play time. A little smirk on his face. He knows this is a physical game, and Les Miles understood obviously how big of a stop that was, getting the ball back to his offense here late in the first half.
Les Miles, the only head coach to have dueled all 3 of the Stoops brothers when they were head coaches. He beat Mike's Arizona team here in Baton Rouge on a Saturday night. There's Fornette still short of the first down. And of course, when Les was the head coach at Oklahoma State, he competed with Bob Stoops down the road at Norman, the Oklahoma State-Oklahoma game. And there's Mark coaching him up on the far side. So here's tonight. He completes the triumvirate.
And Terrence McGee back on the field for LSU now. Their special 3rd down back. You know, one thing we haven't seen yet in this game is Anthony Jennings' legs. And this was something they had success against Florida. Zone read plays on these types of 3rd and short, 3rd and 4 situations.
3rd down and 5 for LSU. Jennings on the move, incomplete. Dupree the intended target, but the pass was out of bounds. And Kentucky forces a 4th down punting situation with time left.
And I think Anthony Jennings needed to take off with this play. There was nothing downfield. So you got to give Kentucky credit. They do a good job in coverage, but he's a good enough athlete when things break down. You can get outside and go get this yourself. Just if he runs with this, he had a chance to potentially make a Kentucky defender miss. They might have gotten that first down. They got to get Anthony Jennings' legs more involved in this offense moving forward.
Robinson is back deep, and Keene hangs a beauty. Robinson is stuffed at the 6-yard line. Ricky Jefferson, number 29, the coverage.
Jefferson led the tacklers. First down, Kentucky, 7-yard line.
Well, celebrating its 9th year, sponsoring the Good Hands Field Goal Nets, Allstate makes contributions to participating universities' general scholarship funds. For each field goal and extra point kicked, since 2005, Allstate has contributed more than $3.4 million in scholarship funds. So we have talked about Daniil Hunter. Let's take a look at it.
Yeah, he's done a great job in pass defense, knocking balls down. He's been their best cover guy tonight. But he's also been great in the running game as well. You just see freakish speed and athleticism off the ball. He chases and runs down Patrick Tolles. That was almost a safety. And then, of course, the big stop on 4th down we just saw in the last possession.
Hurd is alongside Tolles. From the end zone in trouble. Slips out and fires on the run to Garrett Johnson.
Tremendous job keeping the play alive by Tolles. He wanted to work to his slot receiver on the left side of the formation, Ryan Timmons, but he actually fell down on the route. It wasn't there, so he just keeps it alive. Here's the escapability and the mobility. And you know, Brett, when I look at him at his size, he's got a little Ben Roethlisberger in him, I think, because of that mobility for a big guy and the ability to get out of the pocket and make things happen.
First down and 10. Clutch throw by Tolles on the move that last time. This is Hurd, whacked at the line of scrimmage. You know, when you look at the total, we've got an official down. That's the umpire, and of course he's in harm's way. He operates right there in the middle behind that defensive line, and it looks like it's a leg injury, trying to shake it off here. And the Rick Lowe is down. He's the umpire for pin wagers here, and he is up now.
He's right here. Just check this out. It's kind of away from the play. Not exactly sure what happened. You see Rasco. There's some kind of extracurricular activity going on there with Rasco and the right guard Ramsey Myers. He kind of got leg whipped at the end of that play there. See, Rasco kind of rips the helmet off of Ramsey Myers. They're lucky a penalty wasn't called on that on Rasco.
Let me give you a stat that I think would surprise a lot of people. Kentucky has 133 yards to 111 for LSU, yet it's 17-3 Tigers, and that tells you how important special teams have been here in the first half. And there's the penalty flag.
False start, number 70, offense, 5-yard penalty, second down.
Right tackle Swindle.
And he's had problems with that, Brent, all season long. False start penalties from the right tackle position is something that has plagued this Kentucky offense. So again, backed up now. You need Patrick Towles to be big here. 2-minute situation late in the half. You need to come away with points. Towles right now 8 of 18. He's missed some throws. The accuracy's got to go up from the sophomore signal call.
Second down and 16. Throws the swing pass to the outside of Williams, and he's battled out of bounds at the 20-yard line by that aggressive LSU secondary.
And it's hard to do that. It's hard to try and beat this team going east and west. And we keep talking about all the athletes they have. We've shown you Daniil Hunter on the defensive line, Quan Alexander at linebacker. These guys fly around. All of these DBs fly around. I mean, you've got to get it north-south and get vertical. And obviously, that's something they've got to do right here in a critical 3rd and 13. Remember, Towles made a big completion late a couple drives ago on 3rd and long on a bomb to Robinson.
That's offside on LSU. Free shot coming up here for Towles. Steps away from trouble. And he is down, but there's a penalty on LSU. They clearly were offside on the right side of the defense.
Mark Stoops talking with his quarterback here, understanding they're going to get another shot here on 3rd down. But that was a play too, Brent. You know, Garrett Johnson in the slot was wide open on an out route that Patrick Towles decided to pass up.
Offside, number 33 on defense, 5-yard penalty. Down remains 3rd.
Adams was on the blitz, and the freshman just a little overeager that time.
He's been making plays all night, defense and special teams. Talks about his skill set, and John Chavis sending him on pressure. So here we go again, 3rd down, and it's still 3rd and long. You've got to come up with this conversion if you're Patrick Towles. We've seen his mobility. That's been a key element. John Chavis has tried to dial up the pressure on the sophomore signal caller, either get it out of his hands early. See John Chavis right here. They have to play with your legs, keep this drive alive.
Now they need only 7 after that penalty. Pressure. Towles steps, throws incomplete, and again heat was coming that time.
Number 6.
Good job. You see the speed all over the field for LSU, and we talked about Patrick Towles. Got to make plays tonight to win this game. They're not going to be able to run the ball to do it. There's more heat coming off the edge. Tre'Davious White, that had the punt return touchdown, doing a nice job outside on Kentucky's wide receiver and forcing a punt.
Tre'Davious White.
Here's White at the 26, trying to get back to the left. You know, I want to make a point about the special teams because we've been critical of them. Kentucky is without perhaps their best gunner. J.D. Harmon was suspended for the first half of this game, and he's been special on the special teams for Kentucky. He was not penalized, but when the coaches went back and looked at the tape, conferred with the officials, they thought it was head-to-head. So Coach Stoops said, I'm going to deliver a lesson, and Harmon has not been on the field. That's big for them.
It is big. It's really the whole game. And you mentioned that earlier. It's a 14-point game right now. You take away the opening kickoff. That possession started at the 29-yard line for LSU. And then, of course, the punt return. You've got to like if you're Kentucky, the situation in this game that you're in right now, you're down 14, but you take those points away, you're playing with LSU mano-a-mano. Your defense has been very good, very physical, stopping the run. Obviously, they've got to generate more offense here in the second half, but special teams, that's been the story.
Fornette's been held to 2.9 yards a carry, and you can see how aggressive they are on number 7. He's been held to less than 40 yards here in the first half, 36 to be exact. He does have a touchdown.
And it's LSU's defense Kentucky's defense that's keeping them in this game. I've been so impressed with their physicality up front because they've struggled against the run all year long.
2nd and 9. Jennings throwing deep, and that's going to be interference. Interference, Cody Quinn. And he was on number 83, Traven Durrell.
Traven Durrell inside the 10. Incomplete. Quinn on the coverage.
We talked about the
pass interference. Number 16 defense. 15-yard penalty from the previous spot. Automatic first down.
It's a pick your poison dilemma. We talked about this earlier. They're stopping the run for a reason. They've got a lot of bodies close to the line of scrimmage, but that's setting up one-on-ones outside with one of the most dangerous deep threats in the entire country. You see the speed on the double move, and Cody Quinn can't locate the football and get his hands or his head around to be able to make a play on that. That's an easy call for the officials to make.
Williams checks in as a running back for the Tigers here inside of a minute now, and Jeter, the tight end, slips out. Jennings keeps it, and he makes his way to the 33-yard line. Forrest with another stop here for the Wildcats.
Jennings has to do more of this, and I really like that decision. There's nothing open downfield, and Kentucky's done a good job in coverage so far tonight, so when it's not there, he can use his athleticism to go and generate yardage, put this offense in more manageable third down situations, scoring chances here late in the half.
Well, a reminder that ESPN SEC Network brings you a volleyball doubleheader Sunday. First at noon, Tennessee will take the court against Georgia. Then at 2, Mississippi State hosts Missouri. Both games live on Watch ESPN. Georgia will be without Maria Taylor. I don't know if they can handle Tennessee without
the fighting Maria Taylors. Presence at the net, offensive defense mismatch nightmare. Second best athlete on our crew beside you, Brent.
I was going to say, I hope Jesse's not going to say himself here.
Second best, Jesse? Really? I've worked out with you before.
Getting everybody healthy again. There were games at the end of last year in November that they were really just trying to pack.
All right, some technical difficulties. We will get you right back out to Baton Rouge just as soon as we can here. Dari Noka, Greg McElroy, Booger McFarland. Initial thoughts, though, in the first 29 minutes we've seen.
Well, it's been great to see LSU dominate the line of scrimmage. They've played fantastic up front, both on the offensive and defensive lines and in the secondary. That was the big question mark for me. Could Kentucky get enough separation by their wide receivers against really, really good LSU secondary?
Special teams are the key. Punt return by Tre'Davious White, kickoff return set up another touchdown. That's the reason LSU is kind of winning this game. Kentucky's outplaying LSU from an offensive standpoint. Yeah. Almost as many rushing yards, more passing yards, but the special team so far has LSU in a position to be in the lead in this game.
Kentucky's been driving the football. I mean, they've been moving the football. It's just stalling. Mm-hmm. And then a fourth down, they can't get it. So that's what they're doing so far. Anthony Jennings, everybody always watches the quarterbacks, right? Especially at an LSU right now. What have you taken away, Hugh?
He's missed a few. I mean, that's natural. He's underthrown that last one, but they've gotten a PI. They've gotten away with a couple things. He can do a little more. The biggest thing to me, I think he needs to use his legs a little bit more. Jesse hit on it a second ago. He's very athletic, and he can run the football. Maybe give him an opportunity to do some zone read stuff to let him get it free in space.
Absolutely, and for LSU, not just with Jennings, they got to run the football more. Continue to run it. It's going to be a fourth quarter game for them. The offensive line, I think, will eventually wear Kentucky out. Late in the game, continue to give more attempts to Fornette, more attempts to McGee. I think they'll wear them down in the fourth quarter.
I'm just trying to grab an update here for you. It is there's 44 seconds left. right now here for in this game. Again, we've technical issues. I'm not sure if it's something at the stadium, if it's our truck or what it is, but we'll get you back there just as soon as we can. But you know, a lot of people came in thought Kentucky would have a chance potentially here. How do they get back in this right now, Boog? I mean, what do they need to do to make this interesting in the second half?
I think from an offensive standpoint, they got to find out who they are. They came to this game, I thought they run a lot of Wildcat, just like they did on their 4th down play. They tried to run the Wildcat to get it, but it didn't work. So now you have to establish your identity. This LSU defense is playing a lot of man-to-man press, physical at the line of scrimmage. Run some misdirection, screen plays, reverses, loosen this defense up so Patty Ice and Hurd and these guys can move around a little bit.
I need to see some mesh routes because these receivers for Kentucky are having a hard time getting separation from that man-to-man that you talked about. Maybe some things maybe some pick routes, just anything to get some space to breathe because right now they're having a real hard time getting separation.
All right.
Easy throws for the quarterbacks. You love
that would be helpful too.
We are ready to fire you back right now to Baton Rouge. Everything's up and running. I think if you're an LSU fan, you're going to get some good news here.
We apologize for losing power here in Baton Rouge and shades of that Super Bowl a couple years ago, and you did miss a pretty touchdown pass to Traven Durrell of LSU from Anthony Jennings, and so it is now a 32-yard scoring strike that has put LSU in control against Mark Stoops. 24-3. Les Miles and the Tigers. And
there was a personal foul penalty after that play as well, which is I think what's setting up this field goal, or sorry, the kickoff from the 20-yard line that moved LSU back.
Yeah, well, the personal foul was on the offensive tackle Collins. Trent Domang will kick this off as a result, Jesse, from the 20-yard line. He kicks it along the ground inside of a minute remaining. Free ball. LSU recovers. Special teams again. Lewis Neal this time recovers, and special teams have been a nightmare for Kentucky tonight.
You got to pick the ball up if you're Kentucky. I mean, there's a dribbler on the ground. It's right around midfield, and about 2 or 3 Wildcat players just let this ball roll right by them. I mean, it's an inexcusable error on special teams if you're Kentucky. I mean, just check this out again. It's going to be a dribbler right down the middle of the field. And this thing isn't deep down the field. I mean, it dies right there. So 10, pick that up. 18 can't get there in time. Eric Dixon, number 20, had a chance to jump on that as well. That's just bad special teams play by Kentucky.
And on a first down and 10, Jennings keeps it, steps out of bounds, stops the clock. Got a first down for the Tigers, still 36 seconds. And LSU suddenly looking for more here.
And they've got all their timeouts left, Brent. This is an eternity of time to try and tack on more points. If you're Kentucky, no matter what happens now in a sudden change situation, you cannot allow a touchdown or this thing gets blown wide open. And that's unfortunate for this defense to have to get right back out on the field. But you mentioned it, after a touchdown pass to Traven Durrell, now this defense put in another tough predicament. They've got to play great.
Jennings with time, floats one, battle in the end zone, knocked away from Dupree, and that was Fred Tiller. Good coverage by number 3 of Kentucky in the end zone as Jennings was trying to go to his talented freshman.
And it's a good idea by Jennings. We talked about the one-on-one matchups he has outside, so he underthrows this on purpose, puts a lot of air under it. Malachi Dupree's proven he can elevate with tremendous body control, but a better job of coverage by Fred Tiller. That's stepping up and playing big in the sudden change situation on defense.
2nd and 10 from the 26-yard line of Kentucky. There's a penalty flag thrown by the referee. Jennings throws it away out of the back of the end zone, and that could be Collins again.
Intended for Corral, incomplete. Flag at the 36-yard line.
Holding, number 70, offense. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot.
So you got La'el Collins matched up against Bud Dupree. These are two future first-round picks in the National Football League right here. La'el Collins had Dante Fowler Jr. last week of Florida. Now he's got the best pass rusher, one of the best athletes for the Kentucky Wildcats. And you see here, just too much speed outside. He completely clubs him with that right arm over top of the shoulder. That's what allowed Jennings to get away and make that throw, but it's an easy call. Collins is going to have to do a better job getting set early and using his hands.
Number 2 coming on the other side this time, and they drop off the screen. That's McGee. Good call. Dupree was coming again, and they dial up that screen.
Well, he's a timeout, don't you?
Jennings got it.
He didn't get the first down, so right away, maybe you're wondering why they were so slow getting that tight end called.
I think Les is telling the head linesman that he was trying to make the call.
The 18-yard line.
How big would this be for LSU if they could tack on another 7, make this thing 31-3 at home at night at Tiger Stadium against the young Kentucky Football Club, and Mark Stoops right now reeling a little bit. You're right. Special teams has been the entire difference. Sitting there talking with the special teams coach, Craig Navar. Something they got to get cleaned up. And at halftime, regardless of the outcome of this drive for LSU. But Mark Stoops, you see the intensity now, understanding how big of a game this is for him and his football program this year. Talking with DJ Elliott, his defensive coordinator, critical 3rd and short. And they've been good. They've been physical against the run. So far in this first half, guys have stepped up and made plays. It hasn't been the defense's fault. You see Anthony Jennings going over some advice from Brad Cragthorpe, 3rd-string quarterback here before he takes the field.
The LSU, without a timeout, will need to work the sideline if they want to still get that field goal team out there. There's 12 seconds left. They're up 24-3. This is a 3rd down. Clock will stop briefly on a 1st down. And now,
3rd and final charge timeout of the half.
now it is Kentucky.
All timeout. No more timeouts.
There's a situation if you're LSU on offense, 3rd and 2, 12 seconds to go. You don't got any timeouts. So if you're Anthony Jennings right now, you cannot take a sack no matter what. And if it's not there, you've got to throw it away. Give yourself an opportunity to get lined up and kick this field goal.
They might want to kick the field goal right now.
Not right now, not at all. You can definitely get the 1st down, but you know, if you throw this and get it, you got to rally to the ball and spike it. If it's not a touchdown, you've got to have
Yeah, they're
wherewithal.
going to go right now.
Wow.
The difficulty, Jesse, is without a timeout, even though the clock stops on a 1st down, you're going to have to really hurry to get this unit out on the field. I think the special teams coach on the sideline, Pavetto, talked Les into going right now from the right hash. Now this is a 35-yard attempt for Delahousie. Bing, bang, 3. Nothing like a pinball wizard, folks.
There's a guy, he's now 19 of 20 on field goals, or sorry, 20 of 21 now on field goals in his life. Sometimes you got to be lucky to be good. Remember, he missed an extra point against Florida last week. It was critical before making that 50-yard game winner. It's home field advantage right there. Home course advantage.
It's a friendly upright in Death Valley.
If you're LSU, you've got to be so happy scoring 10 points at the end of this half the way they did. We always talk about special teams. It's one of those facets in football that oftentimes gets overlooked. People always talk about offense and defense, but no doubt about it in this first half, it's been the main theme and focus, and LSU has come out on top.
Hard working special teams coach. Made a difference here tonight.
Short drive, 24 yards on 4 plays.
Stoops is livid.
35 seconds.
They just want to make sure they return this kick. Craig Navai, their defensive coordinator, setting that up, and Bradley Pavito, once again, he's, you know, is this an opportunity maybe? They're going to dribble one again down the middle, force Kentucky to fall on it.
Bird and Williams are double deep on the Wildcats.
Loose and recovered by Kentucky. 5 seconds remaining.
Mark Stoops wants them to down it, going into halftime. I don't know. He looked at his coach there. He just kind of looked like he was mounting to him Hail Mary, maybe. Maybe take one shot before the end of the half. And why not, right? Down 24 points here on the road. You got a quarterback that's got the arm strength. You got fast receivers outside. You're going to get the ball back first in the second half. This is a team, a young team, that needs to regroup here at halftime. First thing you got to do is give Tulsa time to get this off.
And they did not. That will end the first half. Rasco again. A dominating LSU performance with Les Miles' special teams. Let's go down to Maria Taylor now with Coach Stoops.
Coach, your team gives up a punt return for a touchdown. Another mistake leads to an LSU field goal. How do you keep from having those mistakes on special teams in the second half?
Oh, we got to get it cleaned up. I mean, it's been all special teams and penalties. You know, they're playing very good defense. You know, we've had our opportunities to move the ball a little bit, but special teams has been very poor.
Well, what's going to be the key to put together a scoring drive in the second half?
Well, we just got to make some plays. I thought we were moving the ball well. We obviously didn't get it in the end zone, but we had some good drives, and we were hanging in there with all the miscues up until the last 5 minutes. And again, it's about penalties and poor play on special teams.
All right, thanks.
Thank you.
All right, Maria, thank you. 27-3. LSU over Kentucky. Now let's send you to the studio. Here's the gang with Dari Noka. And Dari, take it away.
It is the Regions Bank halftime report as we welcome you into our Charlotte studio. Dari Noka, former Alabama National Championship quarterback Greg McElroy, former LSU All-American Booger McFarland. Do want to apologize for the issue technically there in Baton Rouge. Our television compound took a power hit. That touchdown, Anthony Jennings to Trayvon Durrell, 32 yards. If we had it, we would show it to you. But without power, we could not get the camera feed to the truck. Thus, you'll have to take my word for it. But it's a good first half for really good first half for LSU. You see them growing up right before our eyes, don't we?
And this was kind of the trajectory that we all expected this team to go on. It might be tough sledding in September, maybe even the beginning of October. But you see them starting to hit their stride a little bit. They're getting better every week. They're making plays in special teams. And the defensive line and offensive line seem like they're coming together just ever so slightly. Not quite as dominant as they will be at the end of the year, but they're definitely starting to grow a little bit.
LSU's always been a defensive team. Dominate you in the front seven, make plays on special teams, and that's what they're doing tonight. 17 points set up by special teams, either straightforward from a kickoff return or setting up the offense. And then a little pooch kick on the end of the half right there set up the field goal. So the LSU special teams and the LSU defense are dominating this game, even though the LSU offense really hadn't gotten into gear.
They're following up nicely the win in Gainesville last week. Speaking of following up, Alabama had to find a way to follow up what everybody else at least considered a disappointing effort in a win, albeit in Fayetteville the week before. Alabama comes home for Texas A&M. The last time they played them there, Johnny Manziel and company beat them there. TJ Yeldon takes the toss touchdown. His first rushing touchdown since the opening game against West Virginia. Then Blake Sims. Look at the run by Blake Sims.
He was a converted running back to quarterback, back to running back, back to quarterback. I think he can play both.
35 second-half points for Alabama. Sims to Amari Cooper. Bounced back from a 2-catch game with an 8-catch game. In the second quarter, I should say, 35 points.
You can't cover him one-on-one, Dar. You just can't do it.
Watch this little dump off here to Derrick Henry.
Watch the tackling or lack thereof.
I was going to say, where? Show it to me. I mean, they did it how they wanted to do it. Everything worked, it felt like, for Sims and the Tide. Sims threw for 268 yards and 3 touchdowns. Yeldon ran for 114. Derrick Henry another 70. They, at one point in this game, had 52 points, while A&M had 51 yards. It was that bad. First A&M shutout, the first time they were shut out since 2003 in a nasty drizzle in Norman, Oklahoma, 77-0. This was just more Alabama, more A&M. Who do we learn more from in this performance?
It's tough to really pick one of the two because the performance was so good for Alabama and so bad for Texas A&M. The lack of tackling, the lack of execution on offense, and then you look at what Alabama did, the way they dominated the line of scrimmage. They got Amari Cooper back involved in the game plan, and the biggest thing to me, the offensive line established once again their dominance. They were able to pave holes, and those running backs who were so highly touted were able to make guys miss.
The relationship between Lane Kiffin and Nick Saban should be pretty good this week. 600 yards of offense, over 300 passing, 298 rushing. But let's look at Texas A&M. How embarrassing was that for the Aggie 12th man? For your defense to get ran on, missed tackles, lack of effort. Kevin Sumlin should be embarrassed by the way his defense played and by the lack of execution from his offense. Yeah. Kenny Hill, dare I say, Greg, has regressed a little bit since week 1 we saw him against South Carolina?
Well, I would say that he's definitely regressed, but playing quarterback depends so much on everyone around you, and the guys around him have not played nearly as well.
I'm not sure that a 12th man on defense would have helped, but I actually know exactly what you're saying. Tennessee and Ole Miss in Oxford. You know, the Rebels, can they keep it going after a couple of big wins? Do they struggle a little bit? You know what, Greg? You said in your bold prediction on Friday they would have a slow start, and Ole Miss did.
Well, they did, and you expected it a little bit. A couple of emotional victories in a row against both Texas A&M and Alabama. And then they get a very underrated Tennessee team in their place.
Well, there's Bo Wallace with a touchdown there to Vince Sanders, 39 yards, and the Rebels are on the board. Didn't seem like it took much longer to get Jalen Walton into the end zone from 7. Bo Wallace has thrown for 155 to this point. Justin Worley has thrown 3 interceptions. But not over by any stretch. Still more than 20 minutes of football to go here. 14-3. Rebels will keep you posted on what's going on that game. Leonard Fornette and LSU doing everything as they'd hoped to so far. 27-3 at halftime.
This halftime report is presented by Regions Bank. Regions, official bank of the SEC.
I'm your tailgate grill. Your buddy was in such a rush to get into the game, he didn't quite put me out. I see you bought the industrial-sized bottle of lighter fluid. Smart. And if you got cut rate insurance, you could be paying for this yourself. So get an Allstate agent and be better protected from mayhem. Like me.
Mayhem is everywhere. Are you in good hands?
Life in the NFL was tough on my body. I live with muscle and joint soreness every day. And life after football can be just as tough. That's why for knee and elbow support, I choose CopperFit.
CopperFit, advanced compression garments to help relieve muscle and joint soreness.
With my active lifestyle, my body reminds me it needs the support.
Therapeutic fabric blended with copper to aid in faster recovery and performance and guaranteed relief of muscle aches and pains. Call 1-800-586-8356 or on the web at getcopperfit.com. Get your elbow or knee for $19.99. Order now and receive a second sleeve free.
For this old arm, I choose CopperFit. Go. Oh, come on. That was a perfect pass.
Feel the relieving power of copper compression. Feel the power of CopperFit.
Welcome back to the Regions Bank Halftime Report.
Dory, Greg, Booger, Missouri, and Florida. Or should I just say Missouri? This, I don't know who saw it coming in this fashion. Marcus Murphy opening kickoff. And just like that, they have more points than they had last week at home against Georgia.
He didn't get touched. That's hard to do.
Under 4 minutes to go in the first. Tigers up 7-zip. Now it's Marcus Murphy taking a handoff from Matty Mock. Touchdown, Missouri up 14-0. Now 17-0. Jeff Driscoll, who continues to struggle and has given up a little bit of time to Treon Harris. Driscoll 6 for 17 and the interception.
His arm got hit there, but still, he just got to find a way to maneuver in the pocket so he can avoid contact. That's on Jeff Driscoll right there.
Second half so far, by the way, another Marcus Murphy touchdown on a return, a punt return, and a Marcus Golden scoop and score. It is ugly for Florida, 35-zip. How about Georgia and Arkansas in Little Rock? Two of the three people on this set picked Arkansas. One of them thought they'd roll. Hudson Mason to Chris Conley. That was me. I'll take all the heat on that. 48-yard completion led to a touchdown, 7-6. Then Mason to Conley. Big first down on 3rd and 11. Led to a field goal, 10-6. Arkansas scored the first points, and then Georgia took off. And how about Nick Chubb, a 200-yard day. First Georgia freshman to do that since '87, Rodney Hampton.
Todd Gurley, who? Dare I say that? Nick Chubb was awesome. Almost 200 yards rushing, unbelievable.
And then touchdown again. It is all Georgia. Michael Bennett there. And then watch this throw here. Greg, you like this, right?
I absolutely love this throw. Anticipating the out and up. Just a terrific throw by Hudson Mason.
45-32. Arkansas does outscore them 26-7 in the second half to make it interesting briefly. But, boy, what a win for Georgia. That, by the way, the first East over West win and the first time an SEC West team did not beat another team from another division.
Oh, my.
Look at Mike Davis, a little stiff arm action for South Carolina against Furman.
That's how I used to do you, McElroy.
I mean, used to. Green room before dinner. Like, see ya. You got the first lasagna.
That's right.
And then Mike Davis.
This is who we expected him to be. He's got Emmitt Smith qualities. He needs to be more of that guy.
I've got a report. Jeff Driscoll just threw a pick 6. Oh boy. Tre'Davious White. Return. Score. 27-3. All Tigers.
Everybody loves bacon.
It's crunchy and delicious. It's possibly nutritious. It's music to my soul. It's the Bacon Bowl.
We're turning bacon upside down.
It's brilliant and astounding. Its genius is confounding. Perfection to behold. Perfect Bacon Bowl.
The easy way to make delicious edible bowls out of bacon. Just wrap your favorite cut of bacon and cook. You get 2 perfect bacon bowls for just $10. Order now and we'll double your bacon bowls free. Plus a bonus cookbook and love pin. Just pay separate processing and handling.
The perfect bacon.
Did we mention it's a bowl made out of bacon?
Does your car suffer from cataracts? You heard right, cataracts. You know, those aging, foggy headlights. Well, we have the cure. Wipe new Headlight Restore. Crystal clear headlights in seconds and guaranteed to pass inspection as long as you own your car or truck. We detailed this old Mercedes. It looks fantastic, except for those foggy, ugly headlights. Now watch White New Headlight Restore do its job.
It's so easy to use, and it looks amazing.
So before you go and spend hundreds on replacement lights, protect your lenses for life. Order White New Headlight Restore for just $9.99. Call right now and we'll double your order. That's two, one for each car. You get 2 White New Headlight Restore kits for just $9.99. Call now. White New, keeping your world like new.
Easy to use, White New Headlight Restore. Crystal clear headlights in just seconds. The last time you'll have to restore your headlights. Call 1-800-959-4013. Order now.
LSU! Go Tigers!
Oh, it is tough to watch. Whether you like or don't like Florida, this is tough to watch. Jeff Driscoll, just the nightmare continues.
No, Jeff. Wow.
4 Missouri non-offensive touchdowns. Kick return, punt return, pick 6, and scoop and score. They have a 42-zip lead with 97 yards of offense. Wow. Baylor and West Virginia. Yeah, this is huge, SEC folks, for playoff spots. Why? Because Baylor did not survive. That's another undefeated that goes down. Andrew Bowie touchdown. And then Bryce Petty to Antoine Goodley. Baylor takes the lead there 20-14. Not a bad block there either by Corey Coleman.
That was a dime, too. Off his back foot, he led it, he anticipated it. That was a great throw by Bryce Petty.
How about a great catch? Kevin White, maybe Clint Trickett's favorite target.
Maybe.
Yeah, okay, is. Baylor down, significant. No question, that is significant. It'll shake up the rankings, and it's great for SEC schools, no doubt about it. All right, Florida State now number 2, number 5 Notre Dame. So one of these undefeateds obviously going to go down. How about Everett Golson to Corey Robinson?
Look at that play right there, Kentucky fans. That's the type of play you need to get some separation in man-to-man.
That is, by the way, yes, the son of the Admiral, David Robinson. Late first, Florida State, but they answered in a hurry. That touchdown, 7-7, Jameis Winston to Travis Rudolph. Early second now, Everett Golson to Robinson again.
High in the back of the end zone. You can't teach it any better than that.
Notre Dame leading by a touchdown. The significance will be significant, for a better word. Okay, you're Kentucky. Get the Cats back in this thing. Go.
We got to get some mesh routes. I mean, it's got to be something, like you said, some misdirection, maybe sneaking guys out into the flat, because right now LSU just has too much talent in the secondary to allow these Kentucky receivers any room. They have to do something within their play calling, maybe some picks, some mesh routes, anything to get those receivers some breathing room.
How about some motion? Motion, get your quarterback on the move, but more importantly, show off the special teams.
Yeah.
Their special teams have killed them so far today. Uncharacteristic of a Mark Stoops coach team. Got to get that fixed in the second half.
LSU defense must be making you proud, Book.
Absolutely. Just tough, hard-nosed physical defense, especially at the line of scrimmage. They've struggled there this year.
All right, there you go. Second half straight ahead. We'll keep an eye on what else is going on around the conference. If you learn nothing else, just know that the significance is significant. Patrick Toll's having a very difficult go of it. Somehow managed to release that throw, but his team down 24.
This halftime report is presented by Regions Bank. Regions, official bank of the SEC.
Finding out about the school field trip the day of the school field trip used to bring Dana's morning to a screeching halt. But now she can greenlight this moment with the touch of a button. Sending money to friends and family, or even a class mom? Regions Personal Pay makes it easy to give life the green light. Ready to move your life forward? Switch to Regions.
After 10 years of providing top-notch customer service and quality products, we're still rated #1 by the Wall Street Journal for do-it-yourself paint chip repairs. Our signature dab, smear, and blend process allows you to make professional permanent repairs on your car. And now our squirt and squeegee method makes it even easier to fix the most heavily chipped vehicles. Simply squirt a little paint on the panel, squeegee it smooth over the chips, then blend as usual. Go to drcolorchip.com. That's drcolorchip.com.
Blue. It's where dreams live, where visions of tomorrow thrive. And for those who dare to live in this space, those who believe they are destined to do something, to make something, to solve something, there's nothing in your way, if you can see it.
Listen up, sports fans. If you drive a truck, you know it's all about stats. And at the Built Ford Tough Sales event, we've got the numbers right here. Ford Super Duty, best-in-class horsepower and max towing capacity. That's how you punch it right up the gut, pal. And here's another stat, folks. F-Series has been America's best-selling truck for 37 straight years. That's called a dynasty, baby.
Now get $4,000 total cash back on Ford Super Duty, only at your Southern Quality Ford dealer.
Quality, safety, style, performance. Great deals, more selection, and low prices. That's what you find on every Nissan at Eddie Terrell's North Park Nissan. Right now, get 2014 Nissan Sentras only $14,888. 2014 Altimas just $16,888. These certified pre-owned Nissans come with a full 172-point inspection and 7-year, 100,000-mile warranty. Low finance rates are available. For the best quality, safety, style, and performance, get a Nissan from Eddie Terrell's North Park Nissan.
Blowout Saturday in the SEC, and we're on the verge of another one here in Baton Rouge. LSU with a comfortable 27-3 lead over Kentucky at the intermission. Alabama and Georgia winning big. Missouri 40-something over Florida. Everywhere you look in this league, Jess.
I know it's been that kind of weekend, and unfortunately tonight it's been that kind of night for Kentucky. And really the reason, and we've talked about it, it's special teams. They've spotted LSU 17 points, and it started on the opening kick of the game. Here's Terrence McGee getting a great return on what looked like it might be an onside kick. Formationally, you get the personal foul. That would lead to a touchdown on the opening drive for LSU. Then Tre'Davious White takes a punt all the way to the house on a long punt return for Pater. And then at the very end of the half, a very strange play. There's a squib kick down the middle of the field that Kentucky doesn't fall on. It gives LSU the ball back, and they go on to kick a field goal. So we oftentimes talk about points off of turnovers. That hasn't been the problem for Kentucky. It's 17 points off of special teams. And because of that now, Kentucky down in the hole. And they're going to have to make plays on special teams themselves. Their defense is going to have to get turnovers to swing this thing around in the second half. Because if you're Mark Stoops, you're in the locker room, you're telling your guys at halftime, look, if we clean up special teams, we're only down 10-3 right now.
So J.D. Harmon, who was suspended in the first half, is back deep with Boom Williams as he returns here to play in the second half. And there is no question, number 11 there on the right side of your screen, there is no question that the Wildcats missed his presence on the special teams. Domingue kicks it away. And it'll come out on the 25-yard line. We go down below to check in with Maria Taylor. Maria?
But right now, Les Miles says his offense has still been unable to really find its rhythm. But he said one thing his team is doing well is capitalizing on Kentucky's mistakes. Now they're going to try and find some balance with that offense. He says hopefully in the passing game. He also said that Brandon Harris, although he's not ready to say that he'll definitely get some snaps at quarterback today, he would love to see him in the game, guys.
Coach Bradley Pavito, who's done such a good job with the special teams here alongside. And again, he was on the Kentucky coaching staff a year ago. There is the freshman quarterback on the sideline with a headset on, hoping to play. Boom Williams. And he's stopped at the 25-yard line. Beckwith.
There's a nice job by Kendall Beckwith. We saw him miss a tackle earlier in this game, doing a great job there. Again, a new starter, new face in the heart of this LSU defense. And this has been a much better run defense we've seen their last 2 games out. And Kendall Beckwith, with his talent, gives them an opportunity to be special stopping the run.
And again, LSU buries Boom Williams. Short gain. It'll bring up a big 3rd down here for Tolles.
And because LSU's had success stopping the run, the onus is now on Patrick Tolles. And there's been some 3rd down throws he had open that he missed. He's got to be way more accurate here. Less than 50% completions in that first half. He's got to play way better now.
Using the running back. Short of the first down that time is Williams, as he was tripped up by Rasco, who again has had a big night defensively for the Tigers.
Yeah, we've seen all sorts of athleticism all over the field. You're going to watch Jamorie Rasco here actually get cut blocked on this play. You'll see his athleticism and his ability to just get right back up off the grass. Watch this. He's going against Jordan Swindle, gets cut, gets right back up onto his feet. He's able to chase down Boone Williams to make this tackle. It's an impressive defense when you're talking about their athleticism.
White awaits another punt. This one will go out of bounds. LSU's first possession of the second half. And in the first half, the LSU team generated 179 yards of offense. There's Anthony Jennings. He is only 50% for 106 yards. Hasn't made the critical mistake.
No, he hasn't, and that's key, being a game manager. I think if you're LSU, you've got to lean on this offensive line. It's the strength of your offense, no doubt about it. They only ran for 3 yards a carry in that first half, but they should have confidence. Ran very well against Auburn, put up 195 yards on the ground against what I think is going to be one of the best rush defenses in the country, Florida last week. They now have to establish themselves in the second half.
Fornette out to the 38-yard line.
Leonard Fornette, just they haven't been able to get him going, and they've given him a lot of carries. Already 14 on the game, but he just hasn't been able to get into that second level of Kentucky's defense. And I think you have to give Kentucky's front seven, again, tons of credit for staying in their gaps, fighting off of blocks, and making tackles when they've had the opportunities.
Quinn, fine slot receiver who's been quiet for LSU, is to the right side of the formation. Now he's motioning through. They were bringing a blitz, and Quinn moved to try and help out, and it was successful. Dupree got there, and it will be third down. What a defensive presence number 2 is.
Now he's a special player, freak athlete, a guy that's 6'4", 265 pounds. He's got a 40.5-inch vertical. That's what you're talking about. You'll see big number 2. He blows up the fullback, Connor Neighbors, right in the impact, in the hole. And again, Kentucky has matched the physicality of a much bigger LSU offensive line. Now setting up 3rd and long.
And that brings McGee in. Dumps it off to him as McGee slips out and slips free of a defender. Got the first down before he's pushed out of bounds in Kentucky territory by Lauer. Good job by the running back to get the first down. It looked like he was going to be stopped short of it.
It was Josh Forrest, the middle linebacker we've seen make some big plays, and there's that speed. You see 45. Firstly, beautiful catch one-handed. That's a tackle Kentucky has to make. That would have been behind the sticks and forced a punt. You see Mark Stoops telling Josh Forrest, man, we can't miss that opportunity.
Whistle. Timeout.
Kentucky. First charge timeout of the half.
Wildcats burn. 11:02 left in the third.
From the moment Clifford Paul created the assist, his legacy lived on, both in his smile and in his style. From one generation to the next, State Farm agents never cease to assist you. That's getting to a better state.
Yes, we have the new iPhone. Because everyone's coming in for the new iPhone.
Well, what
kind of service plan can you get? Well, right now, if you select the 15 gig plan, we'll double your data and make it 30 gigs for the same price.
Well, that sounds...
Oh, great, you'll take it.
Are you inside my mind right now?
Nope.
Where was I?
Albuquerque.
Who is the...
Porcupine.
What is my favorite...
Hollandaise sauce.
No way.
The new iPhone is here. And now you get 30 gigs of data to share starting at $160 a month.
Every day, Bill had a choice. He could do the same old boring things, or he could start speaking a new language with Rosetta Stone. The fastest way to learn a language, guaranteed. Right now, you have the same choice. You could let time pass you by, or you could seize the day. Experience the new Rosetta Stone. Call now for a free demo at 1-800-ROSETTA.
The challenge of coaching in the SEC is that when you look at each program, each school, they're all good.
The quality of the league from top to bottom is there's not just 3 or 4 big games that you got to play. You really have to play well every week. Consistency in performance is really, really important.
It's not just about 1 week. You don't have to get your team up 1 week. You've got to get them up every single week to face the challenges of the talent in this league, both as players and coaches.
You're watching Dr. Pepper Road to the Championship.
So we check in on the standings in the SEC. Ole Miss leads Tennessee now 24-3. They'll take, for the moment, a lead on Mississippi State. Mississippi State idle this week. They'll go to Kentucky next week. Georgia, big today over Arkansas. The final in that game, 45-32. And how about, Jesse, how about Nick Chubb? A 200-yard game replacing Todd Gurley for the second week.
How about Mark Richt and the job he's done getting that Georgia football team to play up at every other position, not just at running back. That's been impressive. We take a look at these standings. How about the unpredictability about this league? Nobody saw Missouri playing Auburn in the championship game last year. Not a lot of people saw Ole Miss and Mississippi State. Not a lot of people thought South Carolina would have 3 losses in the conference up to this point. A lot of people thought that Kentucky would have more wins than they had the last 2 years combined up to this point in the season.
And at the half, Notre Dame leading Florida State 17-10. Those of you watching that game who switched over, this is Terrence McGee breaking free. The veteran running back has been a presence right from the opening kickoff of this game. Lowry brings him down, and LSU with a 38-yard burst by the senior.
Talked about this offensive line, how they had to take over and surge, and it's the left side of the line. On a simple zone scheme, the best side of this line, getting hats on hats and getting tremendous push.
They leave McGee there. Touchdown LSU. There's an injured Kentucky player down at the goal line.
Simple stretch play again to the left. There was just another good push up front.
That looks like
number 3, Fred Tiller.
corner.
Yeah, he's the corner that goes down. But you know, this offensive line, they just completely took over on these last 2 plays, and that's really kind of what we saw from them the last 2 games against Auburn and Florida. There, it was a very similar play on a zone stretch that they had in the previous long run by McGee. And it was a good job by his vision cutting it back. Here's Tiller on the ground. He's been having a big game for Kentucky. We know he's one-on-one on the perimeter field with Traven Durrell and Malachi Dupree. He's been making some big plays in those situations, and a guy that Kentucky's defense right now can ill afford to miss.
So Georgia, with that win over Arkansas, Alabama 59-0 over Texas A&M. South Carolina prevailed on Furman 41-10. Mississippi now leading Tennessee 24-3. Missouri ahead of Florida in Gainesville 42-7 after being shut out by Georgia in Columbia last week. And here we're 33-3 pending Delahouse's extra point. So the winners are winning big and have won big in the conference. It is 34-3. The Tigers roaring again on a Saturday night in Baton Rouge.
Oh, hey, you got one of those insurance apps too? You know how this thing works?
No, sorry. Yeah. Ben, please.
Wow, you can talk to your app? That's pretty cool.
Not an app, it's my agent.
In this moment,
No, I'm fine, thanks.
it's good to know you have a trusted, independent auto owner's insurance agent who's there when you need them.
Great. Man, I gotta get one of those.
Auto Owners Insurance. The no problem people.
It's the Buick.
Sir. Buick. Where's the Buick? Buick.
Buick. The expectation-shattering Buick LaCrosse.
Now during the Buick Model Year closeout, pay no interest for 5 years, plus get $2,500 purchase bonus cash on the 2014 Buick LaCrosse. Hurry in for the best selection.
Easy chip shot. So much for overtime. Best overtime ever.
Buffalo Wild Wings. Wings Spear Sports.
Let's take a look at the bold prediction brought to you by Buffalo Wild Wings. As far as the Eastern Division is concerned, not so bold. But take a look at Jesse, Maria, and my picks for the West. That's a wide open, Jess.
No doubt about it. Start of the year, I was with Maria. I went with Alabama, but watching Mississippi State and the way they beat Auburn and how complete of a win that was on offense and defense in every facet, not just Dak Prescott. I guess my pick now is Mississippi State.
And Maria, your dogs are playing really well in the East.
Yeah, with or without Todd Gurley, I'm feeling pretty good about Georgia. And Bama's back from the look of the way they played today, guys.
Don't count out Ole Miss, Maria. That's great. You know, there's a great family story involving Coach Les Miles that we're going to get into here in the second half. He has 4 children, all of whom are athletes. The oldest daughter swims for the University of Texas. Now, mom is bending forward there. She's right in the middle of the front row. That's Les Miles' wife, Kathy, okay? But they have a senior quarterback at University High School here in Baton Rouge. And his team won last night. They're 7-0 for the season. And Manny and then brother Ben plays football and competes in wrestling. So what an athletic family. And it's the return by Boom Williams here for Kentucky. Now the youngest daughter is Macy, and wouldn't you know it? And unfortunately, there's another injured.
It's Boom Williams.
Kentucky player. That's Boom Williams.
Yeah.
Oh mercy.
One of the bright young stars on offense, and he doesn't look like he's moving. Wow. Well, this has been a very, very physical game on both sides. It looks like he's moving that right arm a little bit. You like to see that, but man, oh man, everybody holding their breath.
Yeah, Les again, to go back on this family, wouldn't you know it? Pop's telling us that the youngest daughter, she's our best athlete, and she got the least amount of coaching. She grew up on her own, and he said she's plays soccer, and he said to her, "You want to play?" No, I'm gonna play softball. So boom, throws the softball. Now you see, someone's telling them right there that we're talking about this family of athletes right now. And girls swimming for Texas, and mom, let me tell you something. Mom, she could deal with the basketball up at the University of Michigan. Now that's where Les met her up there. He was an assistant coach. He played for Bo Schembechler, graduate assistant, and there is Kathy. If you haven't seen it on the SEC network, the story about the wives of the SEC coaches, try to catch it. It is really entertaining and worthwhile. But and Maria, I think wasn't Smacker Catherine down with you on the sideline for a while?
Yeah, she came down at half. She helped me interview Coach Miles. But, you know, she actually went on a recruiting visit to Auburn when LSU played there. She said she stood in the stands and was like, I don't think I can do this. I can't go to another SEC school. That's part of the reason why she ended up at Texas, but also looked at Michigan. A really good athlete for the Longhorns, though, guys.
Come on, Smacker, lean forward there.
She's hiding.
There you
she
go.
Knows it.
All right.
She's kind of she's behind the mom in here. You just gotta. That's where you gotta kind of focus.
Now, unfortunately, we had an injury like this last week at Gainesville with a wide receiver, Pittman. And Boom Williams on the return.
I'll take a look again. Oof. Well, kind of gets hit in the side. He's able to break those tackles. Just kind of a lot of collisions before he goes to the ground, and it's hard to tell which one it was that kind of jarred. I think it's that one right there.
Tough return.
It's Deion Jones. It's Debo Jones that kind of got a good pop in on him. And
there's the ovation. The young man sitting up, his teammates, of course, over there on the side, and the LSU players who were complimented for how they handled the Pittman injury last week in Gainesville. They're out from the sideline, too, on the LSU side. And the young man, it was a powerful return, but he was taking a pounding there at the end.
Yeah, he got hit about 4 different times on that return and was able to somehow keep his feet, keep moving forward. Again, this is a very, very talented young true freshman for Kentucky, a guy that has a really bright future ahead of him. It's just a good sign. As you can see, the crowd, not just Kentucky fans, LSU fans here as well, really happy to see him walk off the field.
You know, there's a familiar name here in Baton Rouge. You being considerably younger than I am, you don't remember the grandfather, but the coach who really turned things around, as far as I'm concerned, in Baton Rouge was Paul Dietzel. Come from West Point down here. These uniforms that you see that are so traditional, he changed them. He had a defensive specialist team that they were nicknamed the Chinese Bandits. The second team would come out and play, and Billy Cannon and those guys. They got it all turned around. Anyway, his grandson is running for Congress here. There are 12 candidates that he's involved with, including the former Louisiana Governor Edwin Edwards. And folks, if you don't know Edwin Edwards, Google it, and you will be thoroughly entertained. I promise you that. And that's DeMarco Robinson coming around that time on first down, and Riley making the play. But I was talking to some of the fellows over in the press box side at halftime. I said, does the grandson have a chance? Yeah, he said he's got a big chance.
Yeah.
So Paul Diesel's in the running for United States Congress, and his grandfather, he was special, let me tell you. Michael Horton comes in now. With Boom Williams out, they'll give Horton a chance here. And they give it to him. And battering ram. That young man's got some power.
Yeah,
Jesse.
you know, you're right. I think one thing head coach Mark Stoops did recruiting this offseason was get bigger and get more physical. And one way he did that was bringing in Boom Williams at running back, and also Michael Horton is 230 pounds. You know, last year, this offensive line, they averaged 290 pounds. They had 2 running backs that were heavier than 190. They had only 1 receiver that was heavier than 190. That all changed with this incoming recruiting class. You're seeing Michael Horton right now getting some touches.
Come back with him. And he's thrown for a yard. Loss by Hunter.
Yeah.
He's the defensive player of the game so far.
No doubt about it. I cannot say enough. This defensive line has really raised their play in the last 2 games. I think that was a big question mark coming into this year after so much attrition over the last couple of years. Kiki Mingo, Sam Montgomery, Benny Logan, Anthony Johnson, Ego Ferguson, Jordan Allen. Those guys not out there. These guys have played very, very well up front.
Second down. And then incomplete. And that was intended for Blue.
Just timing, it hasn't always been right. We talked about the windows were going to be small for Patrick Tolles, and they just have never gotten to the rhythm throwing the football that we've seen this year on offense for Kentucky. Javis Blue, he's the most explosive playmaker on the outside. That ball gets delivered a little bit early. You'd like to see Blue come back to it, but because of the pressure on Patrick Tolles, it's forcing the football to come out early. Here's another 3rd and long. Defensive coordinator John Chavis for LSU has been dialing up the heat on these down and distances.
3rd and 11. Tolles being pursued and taken down by Jamal Adams. What a future for this freshman from Texas.
The number 2 rated safety coming out of high school. He's having a big game on defense and on special teams here tonight. Again, a guy that they like to bring in pressure. He's just going to come unimpeded around the outside. You just see the speed. Patrick Tolles, this is a good play call, trying to move him away from the pressure to establish something. Nothing open downfield, great coverage, but more speed, just raw athleticism. You're right, Brent, a guy with a very, very bright future.
There is White signaling for everybody to get away from the punt. Big night for the Tigers. Might be the second coming of the Honey Badger.
Wednesday night, volleyball takes over the SEC network. Follow your favorite teams as they light up the courts in a battle for net supremacy. It's all out, hard-fought action to finish on top in the SEC. This week, the Rebels look to stay unbeaten at home when they host the charging Lady Tigers. LSU Ole Miss, Wednesday at 7, only on the SEC network.
It's never been easier to get into a new car, truck, or SUV during the trade-in, trade-up event at Eddie Terrell's North Park Nissan. We'll buy your old vehicle, no matter what it is or where you bought it. Then put you in a new Nissan for possibly the same or lower payment than you have now with 0% APR financing for 72 months. Buy a new Sentra for just $15,275 or a new Rogue Select, only $18,888. Trade in, trade up at Eddie Terrell's North Park Nissan. Buy smart, buy North Park.
Calling all sports fans. Instantly upgrade to Charter TV Silver and you'll get the best in sports programming and entertainment. Go to channel 2495 to instantly upgrade to the Silver package and you'll get over 70 additional channels, including CBS Sports Network, ESPNU, NFL Network, and more.
You either want this, that, or you don't.
Charter TV Silver also includes programming for every member of the family. Go to channel 2495 to upgrade right now.
SEC Network Primetime Football is brought to you by Auto Owners Insurance, highest in customer satisfaction. Find your local agent at autoowners.com.
Well, that's a mural here, and of course you recognize Pistol Pete Maravich, a basketball playing legend, averaged over 44 points a game in 83 games. And of course there's Satchmo, there's Louis Armstrong, born right down the road in New Orleans, and right next to him, number 3 over there, folks, Huey Long, governor of Louisiana. Another one you might want to Google if you don't know anything about it. There's a few good stories there too, folks. That mural, incidentally, local artist here, Jacob Zumo, was commissioned, and it completed in August of this year. A lot of pictures being taken out there. First down and 10. Terrence McGee is in. He's been effective as a running back here tonight. We're in the third quarter, 34-3. Jesse, I'm thinking that we are going to see Harris here tonight before it's over.
Well, it's a situation to do that. I mean, up 31 points. You know, this game, you feel like it's in control if you're LSU and you're trying to get a young, talented, true freshman, critical repetitions to operate in the offense. I agree with you. Certainly, if LSU could drive down on this possession and generate more points, then you kind of put Brandon Harris in a good spot.
Hilliard running back. Third and short.
Yeah, and the physicality of LSU, and it starts up front. These last two possessions, this has been a different offensive line. As you take a look at Brandon Harris right here, just waiting his turn, being patient. But really, the truth is, for the quarterbacks right now at LSU, they need to be game managers. You look at Anthony Jennings right here, and that's okay. Quarterbacks hate to hear that, but they're going to run the ball. If you can avoid the critical mistakes and keep the offense on schedule, they're going to have a chance to win a lot of the games they play in, especially the way the defense has played these last couple weeks.
Hilliard stopped just a little bit short. Good tackle there by Pascal.
And Trayvon Pascal is a guy that we expected to see more time in this game because he's a thumper. 260 pounds, likes to play downhill. It's just his kind of party. That's a big stop. You like this if you're Mark Stoops in Kentucky. This game's kind of getting away from you, but guys are still fighting, still competing. On a critical 3rd and short, they don't back down.
Robinson will go back deep if they did not get the first down. Let's check in with everybody here to see. So the measurement. Jesse, this punter, Jamie Keane from Australia. We've watched him several times this year, and he's a junior. I think he's around 25 years old, I think, as I recall. Probably the oldest player on this team. And I'm going to tell you, looking at how high he hangs punts, he could get a good chance to punt on Sunday.
Never played high school football. You're right. Well, he's got 14 punts of over 50 yards heading into tonight. We talked about how critical special teams have been for LSU, but every week with the punter and kicker they've got to love their chances.
Fair catch again at about the 24-yard line. Jesse, did you hear what the truck just told me?
Yeah,
Steve Ackles is filling in tonight.
You can tell I'm sweating.
I have to throw it to Maria for the Aflac trivia.
You need some tough questions.
That's right. I'm taking it over.
Wait a minute. Okay, Maria.
So tonight's Aflac trivia question, guys. Kentucky has won 2 SEC titles. Their last was in 1976. So you guys tell me, when was their first? What year did it occur? And who was the head coach?
I'm going to guess at the head coach, okay? I'm going to write this down. Now, let's think about this now. At the first, no question. The first one is a legend in this conference, but not at Kentucky, in my opinion. Now, I don't know if we're right or wrong.
You going Bear Bryant on me?
I am.
Okay.
I think we've got that part.
Okay, so we got the Bear Bryant part.
Now we got to go back. Okay.
So Maria throws us a curveball. That's really nice. That's great. I mean, here I've been taking fastballs all season. Now I get a changeup, so that's awesome. And it's a 2-part question. How about that?
That's right. She wouldn't.
I know, seriously.
She should just ask us for the Bear.
Maria gets one opportunity. She's really got.
I know. She wants to bury the booth.
We got Bear Bryant. You want to throw a year out?
I don't. What? Texas A&M was involved for a year. Kentucky was involved. Are we talking about the 50s? I would think it's back in my decade.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I know this. If I'm going down, we're going down together.
Yeah, I think let's set it.
We are going to replay the down over again. We'll replay second down. There's no timeout. Replay second down due to the substitution.
Good. That gives us time to answer this.
Good.
Let's go with the top of the decade. Let's go
51?
with 50. Let's go with 50 or 51.
We should be allowed 2 guesses on this because she technically asked us 2 questions. So, Maria, we're going Bear Bryant, 1950 or 1951.
I really expected you guys to come strong on this one and just give me one definitive answer.
1950.
After the play, guys, I'm going to give you the answer. Keep them on their toes.
Second down and 10. Pressure. Adams was blitzing. Tolles runs away from it, and he is out of bounds. And I want to tell you, there was a comeback block that time. Wow, picked off Beckwith.
I think that was
Baker.
I think, yeah, that was Kendall Beckwith.
And now Baker's jawing away with. Let's everybody be just a little bit careful here, okay?
Well, Beckwith is still down for LSU. The trainers are kind of surrounding him. That was a huge collision.
The crowd just saw the replay in the arena.
Take a look at this again. Pressure coming from the outside from Adams. So Tolles kind of steps up, buys himself some time. He's looking from the right side of your screen. There's Beckwith in pursuit. I don't know. I mean, was that helmet to helmet on that play? It's kind of hard to tell. You'll get a better shot right here. He kind of launches himself. Yeah, you know what, Brent?
Do you think so?
That's a launch. That's targeting. I mean, that's a defenseless player, and Kendall Beckwith, and Dorian Baker, a true freshman, launches himself into him. You saw his mouthpiece come out of his helmet. They're very, very fortunate on that play. That was not called targeting, and that Dorian Baker won't miss the first half of next week's game. Check out this collision.
Well, you know, don't say he won't miss the first half, because coach took down a player for this game.
Yeah, you're right. A good player. One thing Mark Stoops not afraid to do. Got lucky there.
3rd and 7. Tolles drops it off to the running back, and Hurd could not get the first down. And, you know, be careful before you wake up a sleeping tiger.
Yeah, no, Brent, just think about this. Kentucky's offense came into this game averaging 450 yards a game. So LSU has held them to 51 total. There's been nowhere to throw the football deep down the field. They've been all over the place in the running game. They're getting pressure on Patrick Tolles. They've been stiff up front in the defensive line against the run. You got to love what you're seeing if you're an LSU fan from this D.
White back again, waves everybody away as a short kick. It's going to roll dead around the 44-yard line. So, Maria, did you stump the booth?
I think I did. Not really. It's 1950, so one of you guys had the year right, and you're right. It's the Bear Bryant. You got the coach right, at least, guys.
Well, Maria, you know if you're going to come correct with Brent and I at the same time, you know we got each other's backs.
Well, you guys need to come correct with one answer, then. I'm going to need you guys to get right.
We gave you one answer. I gave Bear Bryant.
You gave me an or.
He gave
me an
1950.
or for the year.
Hey, man, hey, don't bring that weak stuff up here, Maria.
No.
Dikembe Mutombo.
Okay, Maria, you can't do it next week because you forgot to mention it was the Aflac trivia question. That's a penalty point.
Throw a flag.
And there's a flag comes down on this play.
False start. 18 and several other players on offense. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
Let's go back and take a look at Maria's reaction when she found out she messed up the Aflac. Yeah, you know, it's like when you miss a spike at Georgia.
Dadgummit.
Which I have a feeling probably didn't happen too often.
No, true. All right, 34-3, all LSU. And, you know, thinking of Kentucky, I know there's some of their great fans back there, and they're thinking, man, it's glad it's time for the basketball season. The Wildcats ranked #1, and that Midnight Madness the other night was something to see, wasn't it? And McGee, play action, Jennings, and he and the receiver were not on the same page.
You know, and again, Anthony Jennings has not played great tonight by any stretch. He's 7 of 13 right now, 7 of 14 right now. But we talked about him just needing to be a game manager. And with the fact they want to run the football, you go back to last week's game against Florida, he was only 10 of 21 in that game. But made some plays with his legs, was really good on 3rd down, didn't turn the ball over, and LSU came away with the win. You know, games like tonight, he does not need to be Superman in moving forward, whether it's him or Brandon Harris. The way the defense is playing now and their ability to run the football, they've got some critical games coming up, and they're going to need their quarterbacks to make plays. But right now at this point of the season, game managing's been okay.
Content to keep that running game. McGee breaks free. What a night he has had. To the 23-yard line for McGee, who's gone over 100 yards rushing here tonight. That's a 35-yard run.
You know what,
Fornette hasn't been in the game here much in the second half, and he left with 40 yards and 15 carries.
Brett, these fullbacks, that's Connor Neighbors going against Khalid Henderson right in the hole. We talked about this offensive line taking over, and that's part of it. But these fullbacks, mano-a-mano in the second level, have been doing a great job, too. It's a total team effort running the ball on offense right now for LSU.
The old Bo Schembechler offense. Fullback, tight end on the left side. Both of them lead the way. Here comes McGee, breaks free. Touchdown. The old coach would be proud of you, Miles. ...127 yards for Terrence McGee, averaging over 14 yards a carry here tonight. Game ball to that young man. Because I will tell you one thing he does better than Fornette, and that is pass protect. McGee can really protect the quarterback. And tonight he's proven he can run too. Blowout Saturday continues in the SEC. LSU coming on.
Can Bosley regrow your hair?
This is my own growing hair that I can comb, cut, style, do whatever I want with it.
The results I've achieved have been exceptional. This is my real hair. I can do with it whatever I want. This is mine.
Bosley gave me my hair back. I cut this hair. I wash this hair. I mess this hair up if I want to mess this hair up.
I can't explain to you the way that it made me feel to be able to wear my hair down, go out on a date, and have confidence again.
Can Bosley regrow your hair?
This is my hair. This is my hair.
Call or go online for your free, no-obligation self-evaluation kit. Plus, call in the next 6 minutes, and we'll even send you this $250 gift certificate. The information is free, so choose to grow back your own real hair. Choose Bosley. Call now.
We've talked about in the second half, LSU's offensive line taking over. Guys climbing into the second level. Center Elliott Porter getting a block on Khalid Henderson, then Vidal Alexander getting a block on Josh Forrest. Into the second level of this defense. Look at the fullback, Connor Neighbors, 43. He's just looking for a dude to hit. There's nobody there because these yellow helmets are getting downfield. We talked about this being the strength of this LSU offense, and they are taking over here against Kentucky.
Boom Williams out of the game with an injury, so DeMarco Robinson will go back to return this kickoff, and Harmon's his protector. There's McGee's stats, and Cameron Gamble will come on to kick it off. This will be his first kickoff, I believe, here tonight. Breeze blowing a little bit, so they'll use a holder. So Williams, we understand from Maria down below, has received some ice up on the neck area. Obviously not going to return.
They got Jalen Collins, a cornerback. He's right now holding this ball for the kickoff. The wind's kind of picked up here a little bit, getting gusty.
3:27 left in the third. Out on the 25-yard line. So a reminder that Paul Feinbaum will be coming along this Monday to have his opinions on SEC football. And that's 3 p.m. Eastern time or 2 p.m. here in New Orleans. And folks down here have followed the Paul Feinbaum radio show regularly for years down here. And SEC Nation will be in Kentucky for that game of Mississippi State. And so Paul Feinbaum will be there. He'll do his show out of Lexington on Friday, as he does every week on the road, with a very, very good show that sets up the entire SEC schedule. Horton on the field here for the Wildcats. And they swing to him, and he's surrounded. Jalen Mills.
We've talked about LSU's physicality tonight and how impressive that's been. Take a look at the rush numbers. Start of the year, very different now in these last 2 games against Florida and tonight against Kentucky. And again, I attribute that to improved play up front on the defensive line. Guys are being more physical. They're playing with a true freshman and Devin Godshot, defensive tackle, who's made plays. They've got linebackers that can fly around, DBs that love to tackle. That's a good formula heading into what's going to be a gauntlet schedule late this year.
Braylon Hurd. And they fire back to the left side, and Blake Bone, the 6'5" freshman from Woodruff, South Carolina.
I think what you want to see if you're Mark Stoops in Kentucky, games at 41-3, you want to see guys continue to compete and play at a high level. And Blake Bone, true freshman. Patrick Tolles, only a sophomore. You got a lot of young guys that Mark Stoops did an unbelievable job. A lot of these guys he's recruited, and of course he's developed. There's evaluation that continues to go on in these games, whether or not the game's over or not. This is a team that needs to get better. This SEC deal is completely wide open. There's chaos, and they've got a huge game next week at home against Mississippi State. You've got to learn from these experiences and play it and get better.
First down. Good throw to Timmons. And Timmons near midfield.
It's the biggest difference, I think, Brent, from this offense this year to last year. Last year, wide receivers couldn't get open. This year, they've got guys that scare you. We've shown you Blake Bone and Ryan Timmons and Javis Blue and explosive players. See here, Timmons in the slot. You give him cushion, he's able to make a play and then get yak after the catch.
Incomplete. 2nd and 10.
It's not just, you know, at receiver, but it's at running back too. And getting a guy like Braylon Hurd to transfer out of Nebraska, JoJo Kemp, and we've shown you Boom Williams and Michael Horton. There's a lot of guys on this offense that are home run hitters that are going to have to keep defenses honest. And certainly tonight, I haven't found a lot of explosive plays against the LSU defense that's improving. There's a lot of football left this year. Kentucky comes in 5-1, big surprise, but because of a setback tonight doesn't mean the season's over if you're Kentucky.
Timmons thrown back by Jalen Mills.
We talked about that remaining schedule, kind of what Kentucky has coming up. So check this out. You got the #1 team in the country right here. Then you got Missouri coming off a huge win on the road at Florida. Georgia, which has looked unbeatable even without Todd Gurley. You know, a young Tennessee team that's improved from a year ago. And then Louisville, big in-state rivalry late out of the ACC. Doesn't get any easier. Bowl eligibility is not a gimme.
Good throw to the right hash, and Javis Blue against Jalen Collins.
Yeah, and obviously you're in go-for-it mode right now if you're Mark Stoops in Kentucky. That was a big-time throw. That was an NFL-caliber throw right there for Patrick Tolles, throwing it all the way across the field on a rope to get that completion in 4th and short. No question.
The Wildcat did not help him in this situation in the first half. Tolles right now up underneath center here on 4th and 2. LSU presses the front. Roll pass, first down, and there it is. The fullback, DJ Warren, slipping out of the backfield for the first down.
Well, it's a nice adjustment by offensive coordinator Neil Brown to bring big bodies onto the field. You're showing power. You're pulling a backside guard. Everything looks like it's downhill. How about the tight end? Wide open, deep down the field. But on those types of plays, the ball is supposed to go to the fullback right now to get the first down. It's a nice job executed.
So that's the end of the 3rd quarter. LSU leading Kentucky 41-3. Wildcats, though, hope to score a touchdown on this drive when you come back to Baton Rouge.
Doug and Casey are headed to the beach. Okay, great. Forgetting to deposit a check could have put their plans on hold. But Regions is helping Doug greenlight this moment of spontaneity by letting him choose immediate access to money from a check he's depositing in a snap. Regions Mobile Deposit lets you skip a trip to the bank and give life the green light. Ready to move your life forward? Switch to Regions.
You could win money for the future, so remember to enter the Allstate It's Good sweepstakes. You could win $100,000, VIP trips to 2 of the biggest college football games this year, and other weekly prizes. Enter today at allstatecfb.com.
Let's go, Dr. Bubby. Let's go, Dr. Bubby.
I've seen it all up here. I've seen flip flickers, Hail Mary.
I see nachos. Oh, that was Space Man. That was Space Man. You see that?
The only thing I haven't seen up here, a playoff. You hear about the playoff? You hear about the playoff? You heard about the playoff? Can you hear me? This whole idea of playoffs is pretty much my idea.
This year, we're crowning the first true, undisputed #1. All those other seasons, they don't count.
Did you play last year? Didn't count. It's like the beginning of history. It's how the founding fathers, they would like it like this. You ever seen the record book?
You gotta put an asterisk
in the record book. Before playoff, after playoff.
Asterisk! Asterisk! Asterisk!
Before playoff, after playoff.
Right.
This is like the first real season of college football. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. No, do you? Time to sell it on the field, mano and mano. Mano, that means,
Super painful.
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Let's go, Dr. Bubby. Let's go, Dr.
Something's got a hold over me. Yeah, something got a hold of me.
College Football Playoff Top 25 Ranking Show, October 28th on ESPN.
All right, Jesse, let's get inside the headset, brought to you by AT&T.
How about LSU defensive end Danielle Hunter? Being a good defensive end isn't all about sacks. Other things don't show up in the stat box, like knocking passes down. He has 2 of those already. Getting pressure on the quarterback and forcing throwaways on critical down and distances and stopping the run. Critical 4th and 1 here earlier in the game. Danielle Hunter, tremendous athleticism, already 6 tackles on this game. That athleticism, he's got a lot of Kiki Mingo in him. A lot of LSU fans will remember their special first-round pick from a few years ago, now playing in Cleveland. It's Danielle Hunter, 94. It's a pretty good one himself.
Now let's see if Kentucky can finish off this drive here in the 4th quarter. And this is a strong run by Horton. Westchester, Ohio. The young man, he is a load, as you can see. A youngin'.
There's so many true freshmen out here playing. We just saw Horton, Jamal Adams on the stop. It's almost like a high school all-star game. All these young players that are just so good. Both of these teams have done a great job recruiting.
Here he comes to the other side now, and he's cut off. Broke a tackle. Took about 3 or 4 Tigers to finally bring number 4 down. He's earning himself some more playing time.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
Jesse, your alma mater had a tough time of it. It is 42-13 final Missouri. Somebody has to explain Missouri to me. They lose to Indiana, shut out by Georgia in Columbia, go on the road, beat South Carolina, and now beat up on Florida.
Yeah, I mean, I think Texas A&M fans are asking the same question. What happened? Alabama fans might be asking themselves the same question too. Who are we after today?
Diving reception by Blake Bone, another of the freshmen. See that size there. They want to get him matched up against the corners around the SEC.
It's not a bad idea down here in this area too. Instead of a quick out, you might want to throw this big guy a fade. He's shown this year when he's locked up one-on-one. Blake Bone at 6'5", he can elevate. They're going to bring him out. DeMarco Robinson, number 9, replaces him. Talked about the new talent on the perimeter of the field for Kentucky. Here's a good time for it to show up.
Braylon Hurd is the running back. Tolles, incomplete. And he was under intense pressure that time. Shields was the intended target.
Yeah, just nowhere to go with the ball. And again, you don't want to beat a dead horse, but just the athleticism by LSU. And I thought that was a really good play design by Kentucky offensively, trying to get their quarterback to the perimeter of the field, but too much pass rush. And again, tremendous coverage. Ricky Jefferson that time on the coverage at safety. So here we go again, 4th and 4, and Kentucky's going to talk this over.
Mississippi goes final 34-3 over Tennessee. So Ole Miss stays undefeated. We'll take a break here with only game left in the SEC, and it's all LSU.
Introducing our new grilled chicken. Hungry for more? Go to grilledlove.com.
Is Interstate the best battery in the world?
We say yes.
Interstate batteries, outrageously dependable.
Yeah, I'm married. Doesn't matter. You do that for me? Really? Yeah, I'd like that.
Who are you talking to?
It's Jake from State Farm. Sounds like a really good deal.
Jake from State Farm at 3 in the morning? Who is this?
It's Jake from State Farm.
What are you wearing, Jake from State Farm?
Khakis?
She sounds hideous.
Well, she's a guy, so.
Another reason more people stay with State Farm. Get to a better state.
Wednesday night, volleyball takes over the SEC network. Follow your favorite teams as they light up the courts in a battle for net supremacy. It's all out, hard-fought action to finish on top in the SEC. This week, the Rebels look to stay unbeaten at home when they host the charging Lady Tigers. LSU Ole Miss, Wednesday at 7, only on the SEC network.
Dory Noka in studio. Time for your SEC Right Now, brought to you by State Farm. And how about Missouri? How about Marcus Murphy, a punt return touchdown, kick return touchdown, and a rushing touchdown? They are the first team in 15 years to score at least 40 points with less than 130 yards of offense. They blast Florida 42-13, guys.
Yeah, Dari, and special teams, of course, big part of our game here. LSU opened up that halftime lead as you check the standings. Jameis Winston, by the way, is 10 of 10 in the second half. The Noles, trailing Notre Dame, are trying to get even in that one. Here it is, 4th down and 3. Tolles under pressure, end zone, deflected, incomplete. A brilliant play defensively by Ricky Jefferson. He's the young man who intercepted that pass and closed the door on Florida in Gainesville last week.
Well, LSU decided to bring pressure. That's the second time on 2 snaps that Ricky Jefferson has been there in tremendous coverage. It's not just cornerbacks, it's safeties as well. These guys feel confident enough to line up mano-a-mano across the board. And he's going against a very good young receiver and true freshman, Garrett Johnson. Just can't say enough about how well defensive coordinator John Chavis's side of the ball was played tonight for LSU.
Anthony Jennings still in at quarterback. Darrell Williams comes in as running back. He's the freshman for LSU. And there's a whistle before the ball was snapped.
Illegal snap. Number 55, offense, half the distance to the goal.
I picked the ball up
first down.
Your reporter saying I picked the ball up to snap it. I think he moved it twice. Which you can't do, obviously. You can't pick it up and place it back down again, simulating a snap, and that's what the call was for. You know, LSU, Les Miles kind of looking on. Former offensive lineman himself. He's been there. He knows what that's about.
And that makes it 1st and 15. Williams behind the fullback. Gashes out the 11. You know, just when you think back to the LSU-Florida game, and it could have gone either way, but there were lots of little things that occurred in that game. Let's take you back here. Driscoll, this appeared to be a touchdown. Now watch Martin, the safety, come over and get him out of bounds. That may have saved the game right there, because then Driscoll was stopped 2 running attempts, and then watch the pressure. Jones comes up on Driscoll. He has to throw it, and the tight end can't hang on. They kick a field goal. LSU comes in and wins. But when you think of the little things that were turned in by Ronald Martin, the senior safety, coming from that angle, and Coach Miles telling us that, you know, some kids would have given up on that. They would have taken 2 steps and said, I can't get there. But he kept coming.
It's a game of inches. And you kind of, that outcome, how it affected both of these teams.
No question.
They always tell you, don't let a team beat you twice. You look at Florida, the way they played against Missouri today.
Good point.
You wonder if that kind of came back and bit them. And what could have happened to LSU had they lost that game? They ended up winning. It spurs confidence. You go on the road, hostile environment, young team, and get the win. They've responded very well today as well. We're talking about 41-3 against a Kentucky team that was 5-1 coming in here. You know, seasons go different directions. There's key plays throughout the year that sometimes get lost, and a lot of those plays we just showed you really helped define this season for LSU.
Breaking 3 again. This is Williams, the freshman. Depth at running back.
When we talk about Leonard Fornette and all the accolades he got out as a true freshman, well, how about this guy? Darrell Williams, out of John Ehret High School. He had 2,200 rushing yards last year and 32 touchdowns here in the state of Louisiana, high school football. Some of the best in the country. You talk about being loaded at that position. As if Leonard Fornette wasn't enough. Now you've got this guy. And you've got these guys for years to come. So SEC defensive coordinators around this league, buckle up. These guys aren't going anywhere.
Jennings keeps it. Sprints for a first down. Midfield. 45. And he steps out of bounds at about the 39-yard line. That's a 30-yard run by Jennings.
Yeah, both of these quarterbacks, Anthony Jennings and Brandon Harris, give a different dimension to this LSU rushing attack. Zone reads. And the ability to get out with their speed in the legs. Never had it with Zach Mettenberger.
Here comes a quarterback change. They're going to give him a big ovation. Jennings comes out after that run. Crowd sees it. And in comes Brandon Harris.
Tremendously talented. And if you get a chance to watch this guy throw, you're going to see it pretty soon. He has one of the strongest arms in college football, period.
Rides Williams on first down, and they move the ball to about the 34-yard line. And we take a look at this freshman quarterback who had a tough day on the road at Auburn.
Yeah, he sure did. He couldn't really handle the big situation at Jordan-Hare, but you can see why. He was the number 2 ranked dual threat quarterback coming out of high school. Tremendous upside. And there was a stretch between Mississippi State and New Mexico State. He led this offense to 9 consecutive touchdowns on 9 drives. Lots of upside, still very young. And that's why snaps like this in these types of situations, even in blowouts, mop-up duty, these are big for his development.
And again, it's Williams for the first down. And he's out of bounds at, looks like right around the 24-yard line. 23 perhaps.
It's guys like Brandon Harris and Darrell Williams and Leonard Fornette and Malachi Dupree. That's why expectations at LSU were so high this year, Brian. I mean, they lost 9 NFL draft picks a year ago, the most of any team in college football, yet they brought in the number 2 recruiting class because of guys like Brandon Harris. A lot of fans here just I think, incorrectly assumed there wasn't going to be any drop-off, and we saw against Mississippi State and Auburn that wasn't exactly the case. But you can't deny the talent these young guys have. They're starting to they're maturing at the right time this season.
Williams again, thrown for a little bit of a loss that time. Mike Douglas, senior from Largo, Florida. Florida State an extra point away from tying the Fighting Irish with 7.5 minutes to go in the fourth quarter, and just like he did in the championship game, Jameis Winston is picking up his game late for the Noles. Williams barges toward the red zone, carries a few defenders with him.
It's that left side of that offensive line that we talked about being the best side for LSU. And you know what's nice if you're Brandon Harris in this situation, and if you're Darrell Williams, starting offensive line still in the game. You know, that's a good decision by Les Miles and his coaching staff to give these young guys an opportunity to have success. Let them play out there with the other starters. You know, see big Lyle Collins right there, future first-round pick at left tackle. You play with your best players and try to get in a rhythm, into a groove.
Penalty flag.
Illegal substitution. 12 men in the offensive formation. 5-yard penalty. Replay, second down.
So late in the first half when we lost power here, this is the 32-yard touchdown pass that you missed. Jennings to Durrell. It made it 24-3. It was a beautiful throw. And Durrell is lethal, especially from the right side of a formation, as Jesse and I have seen several times this year for Les Miles. But that is the touchdown play, and we certainly want to get it to you again. We apologize. We took a tremendous power hit here. It's good that the guys were able to get it all restored, and we've been problem-free since then. And LSU well on its way here to another victory. We've talked about Kentucky's schedule. Harris floats one, and it was intercepted in the end zone. Picked off by Marcus McWilson, a sophomore from, wouldn't you know it, from the Stoops hometown, Youngstown, Ohio.
Well, this is a throw that Brandon Harris, I think, had an opportunity to complete. He's trying to throw a go route down the left side, the left sideline, but he hung it too far inside. Got to protect the receiver in the throw. Check this out. This needs to be outside the outside shoulder of the wide receiver. It just gets left inside. He was going to John Diarse on the outside, and there's Marcus McWilson. That's a great job coming over, competing, getting the pick. Mark Stoops in Kentucky continuing to fight, even though they're down 41-3 here in the fourth quarter.
Yes, nice hit. Seriously, Dish is awesome. Now we can watch live college football anywhere.
I know. It's like we're back in college.
I wish. College? I can go back to college?
Yeah. Every game day with Dish.
I'm in. I think that's Heath Schuler.
Did someone say college?
The multi-sport pack featuring NFL Red Zone from NFL Network is now included in our best packages. Get the most football anywhere with Dish. Call and sign up today.
We live 30 minutes from one of the most dangerous cities in the country. The threat is real. Brian Traynor, the only candidate who's dedicated his career to law enforcement and prosecution. A tough crime fighter, Brian Traynor will have zero tolerance for public corruption. Traynor's plan: create a white-collar corruption division to uncover and prosecute those who break the public trust. Veteran, law enforcement, experienced prosecutor. Brian Traynor, District Attorney.
Every generation starts with a basket full of promises. The promise of opportunity. A promise of good health. The promise of safe haven. For over 50 years, we at Egan have kept our promises to families just like yours. Because we have families too.
East bank of the Mississippi River, Baton Rouge, Louisiana. We want to take a moment to congratulate the newest member of our fine producer Scott Matthews family. Not with us here tonight because Reese Henry, 7.7 pounds, was born Thursday night, and his two brothers are so happy to have a third one that they can pick on. Carson and Blake, welcome. Welcome, Reese, and look at here, Jess.
Yeah, you know, Scott, you're really doing a good job kind of starting them early, which is nice. And it's a beautiful baby, and obviously the baby takes after Scott's wife's looks.
That's Lori, his beautiful bride. Everybody's healthy and well. We want to also thank Steve Ackles, our executive producer at the SEC Network, for stepping in here at the last moment, and he's done an outstanding job down in the
big time.
Did I give him a promotion? Yeah, come on. Bristol, did you hear me? Give him some more bucks so we can take me out to dinner again. You know what I'm saying?
We like to eat well, don't we? Here on the Saturday Night Primetime SEC Network crew now.
Where'd we go? Well, you didn't enjoy the parade. You were so.
I was. Right, yeah. You know. Okay.
We had a great time here.
I was busy.
My man, Josh Clemens is on the field here for Kentucky. Souls dropped, and now brings up a third down here at the the 6.5-minute mark. And you know, as we take a look at the big picture, just you and I have been saying, and we talked about Kentucky's beware of LSU, and they're coming to the heart of the matter.
Yeah,
they've got games coming up in here. In Baton Rouge, I believe, Mississippi and Alabama coming in here to play. So this is that time when Coach Les Miles and this team, if you're going to make a move in the West, it's got to be now. You know, they've lost a couple of games already. They can't afford another loss, but it is so tough in the SEC West that who knows what could happen. Incomplete on that play, and it's day to day. I mean, when we saw what happened to some of these teams here this afternoon.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Yeah, you're right. I think if you're LSU right now, you just got to take every game one at a time. And it's been a crazy, chaotic year in the SEC. We know that. And I think if you're Les Miles and LSU, it's quest for the best, whatever that is. If it's playing for an SEC championship or playing for the best bowl game, you look around that division right now, Texas A&M's now lost 3 times. LSU only 2 conference losses. Bama's got 1. Looked great today, but of course LSU still has to play Bama. They're still going to play Ole Miss. Huge games coming up for them, and you just keep winning out. You got to like where you are right now. You're playing your best football of the season entering the final stretch.
That was Trey Quinn who had gone back on return that punt, and it'll be Harris' second series when you come back.
LSU Athletics extends its appreciation to a man of 22 years old and strong. Held fast to lessons.
With all you have to do, sometimes you need a helpful reminder or a word of encouragement from the people you love. At Belk, we're helping to fit early detection into your busy schedule. Make your mammogram appointment today at belk.com/pink.
So right now, if you get the 15 gig plan, we'll double the data and make it 30 gigs for the same price.
30 gigs? Wow, that's a lot. You don't have to do that for me.
Oh, that's okay.
No, seriously, I wouldn't want you to get in trouble.
It's the same plan for everyone. Families, businesses, whoever.
Right.
No celebrity treatment here.
Really isn't any celebrity treatment.
Just a normal guy getting a great deal.
We're just saying it loudly for some reason.
Now get 30 gigs of data to share with family or your business, starting at $160 a month.
Monday Night Football, Texans, Steelers, 8:15 on ESPN.
College Football Playoff Top 25 Ranking Show, October 28th on ESPN.
We welcome you back to Baton Rouge at Galvez Plaza, Town Square. (41-3), and while we've got a moment, Steve, we certainly want to pass along our best wishes to Mike Slav, who's stepping down next year as commissioner of the SEC. I can't think of a commissioner in my time covering college football who has meant more to the game and the conference than Mike Slav. I mean, the things that he has put in place with this conference and what he has done by adding Missouri and Texas A&M, you mentioned to it, and bringing along now the SEC network. He's just irreplaceable. And he was the chair of the basketball committee. One time he was the athletic director up at Cornell, commissioner of Conference USA. Replaced another good commissioner, Roy Kramer. He was outstanding too. So I know you joined me in passing along.
Yeah, absolutely. And you mentioned it. What he meant not just to the SEC, but to college football.
Exactly.
Across the board. NCAA compliance issues, league-wide. It's really hard to kind of quantify what Mike Slav has meant, not just to this conference, but to the sport and to all of us. And we just wish him a speedy recovery and thank him for everything he's done.
Yeah, he's been battling a little of the prostate cancer. Apparently recurred. We certainly, Mike, we wish you the best, and we hope that you're able to come out and see a few ball games before this season. And of course, down the road, you're welcome anytime, my friend. And there's a first down for LSU here at 5.5 minutes to go. Hilliard picks it up for the Tigers.
You know, a moment ago, Brent, we were showing and talking about LSU and what they had remaining in the schedule. And it gets really tough. You talked about Ole Miss coming in here and Alabama coming in here and going on the road at Arkansas and at Texas A&M. And what's possible? We always talk about the youth on offense for Les Miles, having a few chuckles on the sidelines, but it's now time this youth grows up, because we're at the two-third point of the two-third way marker of the season. And, you know, you can't really use youth as an excuse anymore. You got a quarterback that started 8 games in Anthony Jennings. Leonard Fornette's running like a vet. You've got 2 young receivers that have seen a lot of snaps.
Terrace finishing up under center, and Pascal. Pascal's going to see a lot of action, Jesse, down the road for Kentucky. This is a team that's had a tough night, but a good year. So you don't want to wash away all the good, warm feelings that we've had about Mark Stoops and the Wildcats. Obviously, there's going to be better days. And listen, he's not the first coach to ever bring a football team into Death Valley on a Saturday night and get pushed around a little bit. Miles and the offense working on this clock right now to bring it down and end the game.
But to my point earlier, Brent, about LSU and these young guys on offense, I think if they're going to survive the remaining stretch of games, starting against Ole Miss and one of the best defenses in college football, and what looks like a resurgent Alabama, these young guys at the skill positions on offense now have to pick it up. And we talked about how Anthony Jennings, being a game manager against Florida and here tonight against Kentucky, was good enough to get the win, and that's fine. But moving forward now, these young guys, they can't play like true freshmen anymore. They've got to play like vets. Number 7 is going to get a lot of totes here in the next 4 games.
So LSU, with a win here tonight, they will have swept their 2 Eastern Division opponents, winning at Florida last week and beating Kentucky. Harris, that athletic ability that Jess mentioned, keeping it for a first down.
First down for the Tigers.
We know about LSU and how they want to run the football and how big that is. And we saw in the second half here that kind of take over. And they're now 55-0 all time when they run for over 100 yards and allow their opponent to have less than 100 yards. You check it out tonight, that 288-yard number. A lot of this came in the second half. Defense played lights out all night, but you've got to love what you're seeing if you're Les Miles. Former offensive lineman from your O-line and your running backs here the last several weeks.
So LSU will be bowl eligible for the 15th consecutive season. They came in averaging a little over 34 points a game, and they have put up 41. They come down the field for possibly more. Miles now with his 101st victory. Then he joins the old Charlie McClendon, the only 2 coaches in LSU history to win at least 100 games. I know there's been speculation from time to time, and why doesn't Michigan, since he's a Michigan man, why don't they call and see if they can hire him? He's very, very happy down here. The family in particular, very well settled in to life in Baton Rouge. He told us when I asked him directly about the NFL that he does not have any desire to become a head coach in the NFL. He once was an assistant to the Dallas Cowboys. Came to LSU from Oklahoma State, putting this young franchise back together again. And referee quickly stepping in there, wagers, and cooling the fellas down here late in the game with only a minute and a half to go. And LSU headed for a record of 6-2. Kentucky, meanwhile, will have to regroup because they've got Mississippi State coming to town.
Yeah, they got a
week.
big game coming up. And if you're Mark Stoops in Kentucky, you got to regroup fast. We showed you the remaining schedule. There's no gimme wins, and 5 wins now. They're 1 win away from being bowl eligible. It'll be the first time they did that since 2010. That is huge for Mark Stoops and this young team, because playing in a bowl game means 15 extra practices that a lot of other teams don't get. They need that moving forward when you talk about building a program.
Hilliard has come back as the running back over there, and We get word out west that, boy, the one-loss teams, they dropped the hammer today. We've talked about Alabama here. Oregon leading Washington in the Pac-12, 42-13. And earlier in a wild one, UCLA 36, California 34. USC hung a 56 up on Colorado.
Cody Kessler set a school record with 7 touchdown passes in that game.
Amazing, amazing. Meanwhile, Notre Dame and Florida State are deadlocked starting the 4th quarter. They're tied at 24. Jesse and I are going to head down and get a cool one and watch the end of that, baby.
Iced tea, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, okay.
That'll do it. LSU beats Kentucky 41-3. And a couple of former Big Ten players. Stoops, of course, was a defensive back at Iowa. Miles, an offensive lineman at Michigan. Both good men. LSU tonight, Jesse, rushed for 303 yards.
That's going to be huge for them moving forward. Brutal stretch of games coming up.
Let's get down to Maria.
Well, Coach, you made plays on special teams, held them to 3 points with your defense, and were able to run the ball effectively. What part of the game do you feel like your players elevated the most tonight?
I think we're improving. I think our quarterback managed situations. I think we threw the ball, effectively. We ran. There's balance in the offense. Defense played hard all game long, and we made plays in special teams. Give credit to Mark Stoops and that Kentucky team. They're a good football team. They just ran into a tough night in Tiger Stadium.
How have you seen your defense improve here over the course of the season going into the second SEC game?
Well, it's we have some young guys in that interior defensive front. They're no longer young guys. They're using their hands, getting off blocks, and making tackles. I watched Beckwith make some tackles today. He looked explosive. This football team's improving. It continues to. There may be something out there for us.
Are you playing some of your best football right now?
Well, obviously thus far in the season.
All right, thanks, Coach.
See you.
Thanks, Maria. We'll come back and wrap it up as LSU wins another one on a Louisiana Saturday night.
What sorts of things are keeping you guys awake at night? Am I saving enough? Will I be able to save enough before retirement?
My life expectancy now is 24 years. My money expectancy is about 15 years.
I don't want to get to the end of the road and not have any money in the bank.
An advisor can really help you look at the whole picture.
I'm a cheap bungee cord. This guy bought me at the gas station. Perfect for holding down the lid on a box of sweaters. But 800 pounds of tailgating gear? Nah. And if you have cut rate insurance, the biggest hit of the day could be to your wallet. So get an Allstate agent and be better protected from mayhem, like me.
Mayhem is everywhere. Are you in good hands?
Introducing the Mile High Bacon Thick Burger with thick cut Applewood smoked bacon. Only at Hardee's.
41-3, LSU prevails over Kentucky in Baton Rouge. They move to 6-2, bowl eligible. And Kentucky still needing that 6th win as they look down the road to ensure that they too will go to a bowl. So Jesse, it was really the overall power of LSU. Special teams got them off to a great start.
No doubt about it. I think LSU right now, and you heard Les Miles say it, they're playing their best football of the season. And it all started today with special teams. That basically spotted them 17 points in this game. None bigger than Tre'Davious White's punt return touchdown. But I think it's the defense that really set the tone in this game as well. And we saw Daniil Hunter, defensive end, disruptive, making plays. These guys did a good job stopping the run. There were small windows for Patrick Tolles to throw into. We saw tremendous speed throughout the game from this defense. I think you got to love what you saw if you're defensive coordinator John Chavis from the effort these guys gave. And then offensively, they ran for over 300 yards in this game. They were physical. Anthony Jennings, a quarterback, not a great day statistically, but again, avoided the critical mistakes. And when this team has done that these last 2 games, it's been enough. Spinning it ahead forward. Huge game against Ole Miss. It's a revenge game. They lost last year on the road. They need Anthony Jennings and these skill guys to play better, but you got to love what you saw tonight. That was a blowout win today for LSU.
Let's go down below to Maria Taylor.
Daniil, your defense only gave up 3 points to the Wildcats today. What made you guys so effective in containing them on offense?
This past week we focused on the little things, trying to improve from last week, getting the younger guys disciplined, to stay in their gaps, and listen to coach when he tells us to do something.
Well, you made quite a few plays and led your team in tackles today. What's been your approach entering the game, especially here at home in Death Valley?
It's all Coach Brick Haley. He tells us what to do. He tells us to line up in front of the guy and have a mentality that you're going to beat the guy in front of you.
Well, your nicknames, Terminator, Tarzan, and RoboCop. So which one is your favorite? Which one you displayed here tonight?
It really don't matter to me. Teammates call me Tarzan, RoboCop, whatever.
All right, well, congratulations on the win.
Thank you.
He was indeed the Terminator down here tonight. Daniil had a great night for LSU.
He certainly did. And on offense, there was another guy that had a big night, maybe a guy that no one really expected to have the numbers he did, considering how well Leonard Fornette's been running the ball, but it was Terrence McGee. Normally a third down specialist and a guy that does a really good job with pass protection, but tonight did a great job catching the football out of the backfield. Had some huge runs in the second half to help wear down Kentucky. We always talk about the talent that LSU has in its backfield. They play 4 different guys. Leonard Fornette was the star against Florida. They went with the hot hand in this game today, and after 127 yards rushing, Terrence McGee.
Well, speaking of McGee, let's go to Maria.
Now we got Terrence McGee here, and you had 127 yards rushing, a big night for you. What stood out and made you so efficient in the run game?
I got to give it up to those guys up front. They did a great job establishing the line of scrimmage and paving the way for me. And also my fullback, he done a great job blocking. Connor Neighbors and Melvin Jones, they did a great job blocking and was my flashlight and paved the way for me as well.
Well, you guys have had 3 running backs to rush for over 100 yards. How does it help you play better having a stable of running backs behind you?
It gives the defense trouble. They never know what they're going to get. You got a guy that, like Leonard, he get in there and wear them down early, and then coach rotates the rest of us, and, they just get a steady dose of a great back the whole game, and we're always fresh.
Well, you come up and put 41 points on the board. What kind of confidence does that give you moving forward as you welcome Ole Miss in here next week?
It gives us a lot. We kind of been struggling offensively lately. The last 2 games, we kind of got it together and got it on the road, so hopefully we can keep that going and just continue to improve next week.
All right, thanks.
Thank you.
All right, Maria, you mentioned Ole Miss coming in here next week, and then it's Alabama on November 8th, followed by those 2 road trips to close out the regular season at Arkansas and Texas A&M. So the road doesn't get any easier. They've got a day to enjoy this win over the Wildcats, and then they get ready for an unbeaten Ole Miss team. It's one of the top 3 teams in the country right now, and Jesse, as you look ahead to that Ole Miss confrontation here in Baton Rouge, you got any early thoughts?
Well, Ole Miss is one of the best defenses, not just in the SEC and all of college football. We keep talking about the youth on offense for LSU. That's been an excuse through the first 2/3 of the season. These guys can't play like young, true freshmen anymore. Anthony Jennings can't be a game manager at quarterback. He's going to have to start being a playmaker. We talk about Leonard Fornette and Darrell Williams, these good true freshman running backs. But Malachi Dupree, Trey Quinn on the perimeter of the field, got to make plays. The remainder of that schedule is the toughest of any college football team in the country moving ahead. But if you're Les Miles, you're playing your best football now, and that's the great news. We don't know what's out there for LSU. Quest for the best, but it all starts in a huge matchup next week here against the Rebels.
So the Mad Hatter, Les Miles, and the Tigers of LSU prevail again on a Saturday night in Baton Rouge. 41-3 over Kentucky is the final score. And to get you up to date with everything that happened around the SEC right now, let's send you to Dari Noka. Dari?